My computer crashed, damn it. Though, it was kind of meant to be because Robert Beatty couldn't get his mic working and we got it fixed. So that's maybe it was the stream gods telling us that we needed to fix Robert Beatty's mic and get him in here, and I needed to get off my stream and help him with it. And busy. I know there's no such thing as a stream god, busy. I know that. You're not agnostic to. That also means you're an atheist to a stream god. You're both agnostic and atheist to a stream god, busy. You can't stop defining things. Busy, I'm not saying that there's a stream god, and I don't want to argue with you right now. We're starting a show. Do you mind? Do you think you could actually start us off here? Please? Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, well, we've got Robert Beatty. We've got Navy. We've got Kyle Curtis coming in. And me, Uni. And, of course, I was about to... God damn it, busy. And busy. Part 2, 8/16 of 2020, broadcasting from the East Coast of the glorious United States of America. I'm your host, Uni. This is UNIRock Live. All right. Boomer lawsuit, boomer lawsuit, boomer lawsuit. Boomer lawsuit, boomer lawsuit, boomer lawsuit. Boomer lawsuit, boomer lawsuit, boomer lawsuit. This is the first day he's ever fallen asleep. He usually sits right there and stares at me incessantly. Other than the day that I stream with him here, I get his chair, I got his blankie, I put him up here, and he's very tired. Are you asleep, man? Oh heavens. Well, we were gonna have Harley help out, but we're gonna let him sleep. I think he's a tired boy. He has this little like bone. He's got this little like it's a stuffed bone, and it squeaks when he chews on it, like Ricky. And he'll carry it around in his mouth, and he'll run over here and run over there. And, of course, he wants you to grab it, and then he's going to pull on it, and he's going to go... I'll tell you what, I'll record him doing it, and I'll put it in a video, because it's as cute as a Dickens. But then he'll carry around that little squeaky bone, and if he wants to get your attention, he'll go, squeaky, Ricky. And he's a smart dog. He knows many tricks. Though, we're not here to talk about that dog. We're here to talk about another dog named Busy. No, you didn't think I was going to say that. You didn't think that. No. This is off-the-cuff comedy. Anyway, let me catch you guys up. Then we're going to bring in Navy, Robert Beatty, and also Kyle Curtis should be in here by then. So 2 minutes till Robert Beatty and Navy, and then Kyle will be right in. Let me get you caught up from the last... Cut the music. We need to try that again, Busy. Let me get you caught up from the last... You got one more chance, my guy, and then you're fired tonight. Let me get you caught up from the last stream. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You know what song I want. It's my show. If I have to talk, then I want it to be my song. So here's what's up. The Drunken Peasants is a YouTube channel with 10,000 subscribers. 110, right around there. They've been on YouTube for a very long time, and they have a podcast. The majority of their views comes from an actual podcast. You know, that thing you download from Google Play or the iPhone store or Spotify or wherever the hell they put it. So they get a lot more views than people think they do because they are a podcast. Though, anyway... if you know anything about the Drunken Peasants or Billy the Fridge or Ben Pie, I think I'm saying that right, Ben Pie? Yeah, Ben Pie. They're cool guys. I like them. I've been on their show. I think they're awesome. I don't have a damn thing against them, and I'm going to start this stream with this disclaimer. Because, unfortunately, they have had Mr. McRae on their show. And I was on the Drunken Peasants with Mr. McRae, I don't know, like a year ago or 8 months ago. I don't freaking know, man. It was something like that. 10 months ago, 11 months ago. It would have been probably like a year ago. Anyway, they know him. He goes on there, and he decided to go on there and tell them about his lawsuit. And honestly, if he could have done that and minimally slandered Kyle and maybe only took a couple shots at me, I probably wouldn't be talking about this tonight. But just because earlier with that last stream, it was more off the cuff, and Kyle was here, and when I started, I didn't get a chance to say this, but, you know, I feel that we must respond just for good form. We have to respond for good form, because there are many good clips from the DP stream that I think will go down in massive lies of the crazy cult history. Yes, they're officially a cult now. And by the way, somebody was asking me about Nick Suter. I get people messaging me and being like, you hate Nick Suter. I don't hate Nick. Nick is welcome on my show. I don't think he'll ever come, but he's welcome here. He can sit here with me just like Kyle and Navy and Robert does. We can have a conversation, and he will be treated just like anybody else. I'm not a dick, y'all, okay? I'm saying this because maybe he feels like I hate him or something. Nick was in my Discord. I thought he was a cool guy, or I wouldn't have kept him in there for as long as I did. He was in there for months after Steve got kicked out, and he stayed there and would talk to me a lot, and I'm fine with him. We've had our problems, but I'm fine, okay? It's up to him. It's not me. It's up to him. Also, Nate Brody, Menace to Sobriety. If you guys end up wanting to jump in here, you just have to go to the general room and tag Navy, and he'll have you in. And, yeah, that's about it. I think, let's see here. Anything else I want to hit? Yes, there is. I'm going to clearly state this before I bring in our guests, because we are going to start off. Oh, we lost Mr. Beatty. He probably might be jumping back in. He might have had to leave because it got too late. He had a technical difficulty, so if Mr. Beatty doesn't make it tonight, he can come anytime he wants, and we should start earlier next time. It's hard to start earlier on a Sunday, especially on a Sunday when Kyle had a business call. It messed up our time stuff. We'll get him in. Let me, in case he doesn't come back in, and he watches this, Mr. Beatty, you're welcome to come in anytime this week, and we'll try to start at 5 or 6 or 7. I want to start earlier anyway. In fact, we're going to go to the main channel this week. You're welcome to go there instead, UNIRock 2 instead of here. There's actually 17,000 some subs there, unlike over here, we've only got 1,000. Though, anyway, okay, well, Mr. Beatty's not there. If he comes back in, it'll update on my screen, so that'll let me know he's there. So I'm going to unmute for Navy anyway, and we're going to get started with the Drunken Peasants thing. But since Mr. Beatty's not in there, I'm going to go ahead and finish what I was saying. So this is a disclaimer. I don't do what Steve McRae says I does, okay? I don't go around attacking people. I criticize, and I might, like, if somebody's bringing me up, like another creator or something, yeah, I typically will react to it when I'm live. That every YouTuber does that kind of thing. It's like, I don't know if some of the people that follow him live in a fucking bubble or something, but this is what live streaming is, and this is what we do here. So, and this is why I do it on this channel instead of doing this on UNIRock 2. If I do it on UNIRock 2, it'll get a lot more attention, the whole squad fam will be there, and a lot more people will watch the replay. I'd much rather bring this junk-ass content here. And no, I don't think the DP, the Drunken Peasants, are junk-ass content. I think that Steve lying to people to try to further a narrative about his show is junk-ass content. And I'm responding basically just because why else would he wants me to respond, or he wouldn't have fucking badmouthed me on the Drunken Peasants the entire time he was there. He didn't have to mention me at all. You know what I think? I think because he brought me on that show a long time ago, he felt like he had to, you know, I think he felt like he kind of had to make excuses or something. Like he felt like, hey, the audience is probably thinking, where's that UNIRock guy that you came here with that one time? I don't know. Although I do know this, regardless of what I talk about, he acts like I shouldn't be able to talk about this subject because then I'm just talking about him, blah, blah, blah. This is about Kyle Curtis. I'm Kyle's friend. When I was talking about non-sec all the time when they first broke up, I had his full support. Why? Because I was not in favor of Kyle. I was in favor of him back then, right? Back when I was in favor of him, he wanted me to talk about non-sec every day if I wanted to. But now that I'm in favor of Kyle Curtis simply because of the evidence that's out there, he can't tolerate the fact that I talk about this, and I have to be added to his list of people that he attacks. Here, just to get basic, because I know sometimes you got to do this in these situations on the internet. To get basic, when I criticize him, I will reference the thing that proves my criticism. I'll reference it. I will tell you about it. It will be present in one of my YouTube videos. You can ask the live chat, one of my mods, or me directly where you can find the clip. We will give you links. I will deliver you to the source material for any clip that or any criticism that we discuss there that you want to see the original clip of. I'll deliver you to it, okay? I assume that a lot of you that are going to click this are watching because you follow me, so you've already seen all those clips. So if you're someone that hasn't, I encourage you to get those links. You can just go down UNIRock 2 and look for non-live streams, so short videos, 10, 15 minutes long, that have to do with non-sequitur in the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Watch them real quick, get caught up on them. You'll see clips that prove my case. What is my case? Well, I've been saying it for a while now, but just because Steve's been out blasting me all over the internet, so obviously new people who don't know who I am probably heard him, my case is that Steve has lied to all of us since the beginning of this whole thing. I have a clip in the very beginning when him and Kyle first got in the fight where Steve says he can't even sue Kyle because they don't have a contract. So now he's saying he does have a contract and he's going to sue Kyle and take the channel. And he's lied to us the whole time. And I have to criticize him. He is slandering Kyle, putting down Kyle. He can't prove that Kyle and him had a contract. He can't prove they even had a verbal agreement, even though he's told us he has evidence of the verbal agreement. And I'm in the point where you don't promise evidence to people for a year, but then not show it. Right? Sometimes he'll allude to secret evidence, though he'll never specifically tell you what it is. This is all in an attempt to lie, to garner support. And yes, I wish he would just move on. I wish he would just say, you know, if I can't prove it to people, I'm going to stop bringing it up. Because this situation does not just entail him. It's not about believing him. It's not about, you know, if he was just going around begging people to believe him that he has a 16-pound bowling ball in his closet, then, you know, maybe people would say, okay, fine, it doesn't really hurt anything for us to believe your 16-pound bowling ball allegation. But when his allegations have to do with you believing that Kyle Curtis is now a criminal who was sharing a channel with him, not someone who came on his show and helped him co-host, but he was sharing the channel with him, and that Kyle stole it and all this, if he expects you to believe that and then he lies to you about the evidence that he has, obviously he lied for a reason. That's the whole, I'd say that's the easiest way for me to represent my side. Now, let's go, unmute, bring Navy in, and Kyle should be here sometime soon, and maybe Robert Beatty will jump back in. He might have had to go for some reason. It's fine either way. He's welcome here anytime he wants to come, and he knows that. Technical difficulties tonight. Sucky. Hopefully he'll get back in when Kyle gets here, or maybe tomorrow, if not tonight, though. Anyway, let me go ahead and bring in Navy, and we will go. And Navy, until Kyle gets here, do you want to go through this live stream from the Drunken Peasants with me and react to a little bit of it? Do you think that'll work?
That would be awesome. And guess what? Robert's back.
Robert's back. Okay, awesome. Okay, all he has to do is join. If you want to tag him, he just joins General, and I can pull him right back in, and he can watch it with us. We just got to get him, you know, he has to, you know, double-click me, but I'll get him to do that here in a minute so that he can actually see the stream, but that'll be tight. All right. Robert Beatty's coming back in, y'all. Yeah, boy. So before I actually go there and start watching that clip, in fact, I'm not going to click it yet. First, we're going to wait for Robert to jump in, and then I'll introduce Robert and let him say hi to everybody. And then we will go in. So wait, let me just do this. Okay, I want to grab an application here, which is Non Sequitur Show. Got it. Go live. I'm live, Navy, so you can bring up that live stream whenever you want. So, well, while we're waiting on, as soon as he jumps in General, just let me know. I don't know, I can't see him if he's in General, so yeah. Anyway, let me know what you're thinking in the live chat, peeps. Talk to me for a second while we wait on Robert Beatty to get back into the General room. We'll pull him in, and we'll start going through the Drunken Peasants podcast just to certain points. Now, listen, some of you may have timestamps from this stream, and if you have some, I would love that. Let me find the timestamp we had before we ended.
Yeah. She covered jelly juice. Like.
Yeah, we restarted our stream, so we're just going to play this clip from the beginning. And we are queued. Okay, so here is what you need to know about this stream in this clip. Yesterday on Drunken Peasants, people finally went back and watched some of their stream. One last disclaimer. I have no issue with the Drunken Peasants. I do believe Steve's been lying to them. I think they know more than they've alluded to. I do. Honestly, I think it's why they ask these specific questions. And though they may not, and they might just have a feeling Steve is lying to them. But either way, I don't have an issue with them. I support them. I don't know why I wouldn't. And if there's a reason for me not to, you can just tell me or something. But I'll probably just tell you to screw off. I don't think they're bad dudes. So okay, we got Mr. Beatty back in here. Let's see if we can get Mr. Beatty. We'll see if we can get him talking and stuff. Mr. Beatty, how are you doing, sir? Can you hear me? Okay, you'll have to unmute to talk. But how you doing?
Finally made it. How about that?
Yes.
Hour and a half.
We got him. We got him. All right. Well, let's talk for a second, Mr. Beatty, before we got a clip that we're going to kind of react to and stuff. What have you been up to? I've seen that you've posted some stuff about the case. You've probably witnessed some of Steve's behavior in the last few weeks on Twitter since we've talked. How's things been going, and what have you been noticing out there?
Well, I've noticed a lot of people had a lot to say about it. My preference would be let's wait and see what the judge has to say. But if people are going to go on social media and start talking, I guess I get to talk too, if I can wiggle my way in somewhere.
Very true. I think a lot of people respond when Steve attacks people. I think when he's just out rolling around being his normal crazy self, nobody really cares too much. But yeah, unfortunately, he's slandered Kyle like crazy on a big live stream last night. So we're going to talk about that here in a few minutes. Have you had any more run-ins with him? Has he been messing with you? When we talked to you last time, he had targeted you. You'd gotten into it with him over the Facebook group that you run, which is Kent Hovind's Worst Nightmare. It's a great Facebook group. If any of you guys want to join it, it's really cool. So debunking type stuff. And what's been nothing really, no interaction with him, sir? Everything's been quiet?
No, we had that run in and he ran off and blocked me here and there and badmouthed me here and there. And Cheshire was trying to get a show up with Mr. Serious and investigate me and expose me. And I'm still waiting for her to do her show and find out what they came up with. I've been vetted by experts over the years, and I'd like to know what they come up with. Maybe she'd even invite me on to talk about it. I don't know. But other than that, Steve and I have not tangled. I think he's trying to put it behind him and never plans to settle up with me about his misbehavior in my group. And the more I've listened to him, not so much recently, leading up to now, it's harder and harder to listen to him. As a lot of people have that experience with the various YouTube celebrities, is that after a while, it's just, you can't stick with them. And I found that to be the case with Steve. I can listen for a little while and, I just can't stay with it. I did this morning have a run-in with a couple of his people on Twitter. I don't know how many people might have seen that. They were all over me because of that New York case. I said, had some good discussion about how one might analyze the issues in the McRae Curtis case. And after a while, they decided I was too stupid to talk to them, and I was just a troll anyway. So they finally shut up and went their way. One of them was supposedly, one of them was a feline somebody, and the other, the other was an attorney of some sort.
OPT lawyer. Yep.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, then I listened to the discussion which Agrippa had with Ruhif, and I thought that was pretty good. And even on the topic, after a while, I think it's when the judge makes his call, I figure his opinion's going to be 3 pages or less, and it's going to be real simple. And yet we probably got 100 hours of talking heads talking about all sorts of angles to it.
Oh, yeah.
I think he'll make it real simple, and the chances maybe are better than 50% it'll go Kyle's way. But with all that secret information out there that'll blow the case wide open, who knows? McRae might pull it out.
Yeah, you know, it's a tactic of theirs, Steve's and Ruhiff's and Cheshire's and Intrigued Feline, to rely on what they call their information that they promise people. It'll say a week, 2 weeks. It'll say a month, 2 months, or DM us and we'll give you a link. And I can confidently say this is at least, let's be safe, I'll shoot low. It's the 11th or 12th time I can think of him or his cohorts using secret evidence. That's the meme, that's the short form that we use for him promising evidence of some sort. I have never seen him one time ever deliver on secret evidence, and this is why I feel like I do about Ruhiff. I feel that I can't trust Ruhiff's promise today that there is secret evidence that will expose Kyle was living with his mother the whole time, when even McRae has admitted 5 clips, 6 clips of him admitting that he did move out of his mother's home. So it's a lot to kind of digest. It's a little bit weird, but I do think them attacking you is just another, or coming at you, you know, arguing with you and then running off. It's just how they work. If you get into it with him, they're all going to come at you, you know, anytime you say anything. So it's weird. Why can't they come to you and be neutral? Why can't they ask your opinion and have a good conversation, you know? Go ahead, sorry.
I mentioned in one of my tweets in closing, after they'd run off, that I thought it was a little hypocritical of them to come after me, not making a formal legal argument that could be presented in North Carolina courts, when Ruhiff comes on and says, we've got secret evidence, but you can't see it. Little hypocrisy going on there.
Definitely.
I think.
You'll find that is very rampant in their group. And I think that's what's happened. I think he's had more people that followed him in the past, and the ones that are left fit this kind of mold. And I ask myself, is this common with every person like Steve or Kent Hovind and other extremists, religious extremists or intellectual extremists? I don't know what to call them, though. You know, I could probably say you're a pretty good expert on Hovind and how he did his thing there over the years. And I ask myself, did the same kind of thing happen with him at one time? Was he more popular and then due to his actions become less popular and have a more extreme group that hung around him because the other logical people walked away? What do you think, comparing who follows Steve to what you see following Hovind? What do you think?
Well, we've been joking around a little, but with some seriousness about the analogies that could be made between Hovind and McRae, and the issue you bring up might be another one, in that Hovind was a world-class preacher. He traveled the world and made millions of dollars, and even today he will tell you most every Baptist church has refused to continue supporting him. He doesn't get very many speaking engagements anymore. Although he's got enough supporters from who knows where, maybe even some people like Ruhiff. Hovind's handler, Ernie Land, at one time said Hovind had some millionaires ready to finance his operations, and they may be doing that these days, while his supporters have dropped off quite a bit. But apparently preachers don't need too many supporters if they're willing to give money to keep them going. And so Hovind keeps going, even though his number of supporters no doubt has dwindled substantially. And McRae may be on that course as well. So we have that analogy to consider and look for whether it strengthens or weakens over time to see how it goes. And the decision in this case on the service issue, it might be a big factor in how McRae's future might look.
I honestly agree. I was bringing up that argument earlier with Kyle, and it was my kind of an analysis of why we are getting promised evidence. I mean, in a court case, you know, from everything I've ever seen, and you present your evidence, and then everybody gets to write up their case laws and make their arguments and stuff with these issues like we're seeing with service. And it seems very strange to purposely hold any evidence to be released at the hearing, let alone if he has a bombshell. It would be doing the court a favor. It would be doing the other lawyer a favor. It would save time. I just can't fathom that Ruhif, the financial backer of Steve's case, telling us that he has some secret evidence that will doom Kyle that's going to be thrown down on the judge's table when he goes to the hearing. It just seems so dubious. It's like gamesmanship in a way. I don't know what the tactic is, but he said it was a technical tactic that made him have to hold the evidence. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any good reason why, if they had a case against Kyle, they couldn't make it now, considering all the time and effort they put in to going to social media and talking about it. Excuse me. So it's reasonable to be skeptical as to what they have and what it might be worth. And you've got more experience with those people than I do. So it's just part of the game they're playing. And so far as we know now, if that's the game they're playing, they've implicitly admitted that if the case had to be decided today on its merits, on the information available, McRae loses.
You're right. Good point.
Kyle has overcome the presumption of service, and the burden's on McRae. So he's got to come up with evidence, an argument to overcome the fact that Kyle has overcome McRae's presumption, in my opinion. And so they're resorting to the secret evidence that's going to change everything. Maybe they'll pull it out, maybe not.
Yeah, I guess only time will tell. You know, it keeps people interested, that's for sure. It's a smart play from Ruhif here, knowing there's been a lot of eyes on Nate Brody's analysis. He's pretty much the one out there giving a legal breakdown whenever there's a new filing. People go there instead of reading it themselves because he puts it all on the screen and proves his points, and you know, they get an opinion from a lawyer at the same time. He's doing great, Nate is. So to kind of go on Nate's show and then have this, it seems like that was more of a tactic on both sides, because it's going to keep both sides interested. Now, the other side that's pretty much hopeless, you know they're hopeless. They're seeing all these arguments that the people that criticize Stephen Ruhif, there's so many arguments put out there that say, like, hey, they didn't serve Kyle properly, and they probably are getting mad about that. To come in here and promise some secret evidence now, everybody's going to be on the edge of their seat waiting. So, you know, God knows if they really meant to affect both sides, but they did. So at least it's a tactic for YouTube. They know how to play the YouTube game when it comes to one, influencing their subscribers and then taking digs at other people's. And I do believe both of those things were a factor. But
well, tomorrow is a big day if Kyle gets his latest filing submitted.
Yeah,
if we get copies of that and get to see what McRae is going to complain about, Ruhif seems to think the judge should disregard it, but I'm not so sure that's going to happen. And maybe after that, since Ruhif and Agrippa got together with Nate today, maybe Nate can get me and McRae together later to discuss how it looks after Kyle's motion amendment tomorrow.
You know, that would be wonderful. I've been asking McRae for a debate, a formal one that would be moderated for myself. I know you've been wanting to discuss and debate with him, and, you know, it's pretty telling that he still will, you know, continue putting out his baseless kind of arguments while denying, calling me an idiot the whole time, denying me a debate. He denies you a debate. He's denied Nate a debate. I don't think he'll ever talk to any of us again.
I think ultimately, after going back and doing a little review today, the case will come down to the discretionary call by the judge. The law is not that complicated. A lot of the facts are in dispute. At least the claims seem to be going back and forth as to what the real deal was. And it'll turn on whether or not McRae can establish that he was living with his mother at the time the registered letter was delivered.
And that's the thing. You're right. And it's just like when you say that, in my head, I hear these clips on Twitter of Steve saying Kyle was the date Kyle moved. I even asked myself, how the hell does he know that about Kyle? Like, when Kyle moved, Kyle was avoiding the internet. He wasn't posting on social media. He wasn't talking to anybody. Yet McRae has had a firm date for when he moved, and he knows when he left his mother's home. He's never disputed it this entire year until now that Kyle shows up, and he's like, hey, you didn't serve me properly. All of a sudden, it's the biggest issue ever. His whole rhetoric changes from Kyle moved out on this date, and then a month and a half, 2 months later got served. His rhetoric changes to he was living with his mother and trying to fool all of us. It doesn't make sense that Kyle would even do that, because for all Kyle knows, a process server is going to come get him at any time. And this is what happens anytime you think about this case. Nothing that they say ever adds up. And everything Kyle says and all the people that discuss Kyle's side are very logical and evidenced. And there we go again, you know, being in... Oh, speaking of which, speaking of a certain Kyle Curtis, I probably shouldn't have just yanked you up here. I haven't unmuted you yet, Kyle, so I'm being safe. I'm being safe here. I'm giving you a couple seconds before I unmute you. So go ahead, sir. Say whatever you want to say.
I was going to add that the reason for having an in-person hearing, in part at least, is to get both parties there to look the judge in the eye and tell their story, so he can decide which one he's going to believe when there's contradictory claims and the record is not determinative. And so that will be an interesting issue to watch develop, if that, as I suppose, is what the case is going to turn on. Who's the judge going to believe on the substantive determinative details? I wasn't there. I don't know. It could be either way. But right now, it looks like Kyle has effectively overcome McRae's presumption, and McRae is having to lean on this secret bombshell information that supposedly, from what I heard, is going to show he was living with his mother. And if you believe that, on the day of service, or the attempted service, then McRae can pull it out. And if the judge says, no, I believe Kyle moved, that made the attempted service ineffectual.
Well,
Kyle wins. I'll let you talk to Kyle for a little while.
Oh, no, please finish, sir, because I was about to ask him if he did live with his mom. Kyle, we're coming for you in just a second, man. Go ahead, sir. Finish your thought, please.
Well, that's about all I was going to say for that segment. Okay. There is Kyle can make his claims and clarify it, but I'm inclined to think Kyle moved and McRae wins. McRae loses and Kyle wins. But from my vantage point, I can't say that's going to be the issue. but that's what I'm persuaded will be the result.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, Kyle, have you had a chance to talk to Mr. Beatty yet, Kyle, or is this your first time speaking with him? And Kyle might be AFK, so I might need to mute him, actually. Yep. I'm going to mute Kyle, and I'm going to tag him and let him know that as soon as you get to Mike, let me... Oh, you're here. Okay, he probably just sat down then. Okay, you're unmuted, buddy. I just did it for safety's sake. Is this your first time speaking with Mr. Beatty, Kyle? You might have to... There we go.
I'm on push to talk. Let me change that really fast.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. We're not using push to talk tonight, but
okay.
I'm just asking that everybody mutes themselves when they're not talking. That way we reduce noise. But yep.
Is that better?
Oh no, yeah, you're good. We can hear you. We can hear you. So have you? Is this your first time meeting Robert?
It is.
Robert,
it's a pleasure.
Kyle?
It's a pleasure to meet you, and I'm a big fan of your work, sir.
I've heard you talking about me, but I guess we've never had a formal meeting and general discussion. I appreciate your comments and consideration.
Absolutely. You do good work, and that's reflected in the Hovind thing. But I guarantee you, Steve regrets the day that he ever tried to come after you.
Well, I think if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here. And I guess from what I do in social media, I've stuck my neck out a bit. In your case, maybe somebody cut it off, maybe not. But I always try to qualify where my position lies regarding the details. And the way it's looking now, based on what was said today in that Nate Brody program, they've effectively admitted in order to win, they got to rely on some kind of secret bombshell information. And I'm not sure they've got it, or what they've got is going to be persuasive. And the fact that they pull some kind of stunt like that just might more aggravate the judge as to what they've been doing the last year. And again, that goes to the credibility issue, where there is doubt, and the call is going to be made based on the discretion of the judge. And when it's a discretionary call, it's very hard to overcome on appeal. I heard Ruhif say that if the judge tried to rule in your favor without a personal hearing, they were going to appeal it. Now, that's fine, but everybody claims they're going to appeal. But if it's a discretionary call, the chances of them winning on appeal is pretty slim, in my opinion.
I agree. I think that, when talking to my attorney, there are certain aspects that I just think, me personally, is too, he can't overcome. Like when you talk about there are 4 different examples of him streaming and saying that he knows it was sent to an old address. He says that on 4 separate occasions. We have those transcribed, the links sent over to the judge. The fact that I didn't sign for the summons, the fact that my tax information goes to the place where I moved, my bank accounts, the lease agreement. I think all of these factors at least lend credence to the fact that the judge should say, okay, there's enough here to at least start this thing from the beginning again and let both sides, stake their case, because I don't see him having any evidence, whether, he's got a bombshell that he's waiting to release, which I don't believe, but nothing I don't think can surmount those 3 key pieces of this that does not satisfy proper service in North Carolina.
One of the things I noticed today in reviewing a little bit, which is relevant and could be material, I didn't try to dig into the details to match dates and times and all that. But his response to your clips about him saying he knew it was wrong, from what Ruhif was saying and something else I read, I think, he's claiming that he never said he knew it was wrong until after it became an issue. So
that's not true at all.
Yeah, he's suggesting that at the time he contracted with his lawyer and gave him the address, he didn't know you had moved. That could again go to the credibility issue. If he says one thing and you say another, who's the judge going to believe?
The first example of one of those streams that I have is back from November. I didn't raise the issue of the improper service until mid-February, I believe it was. So, that's several months prior to me even raising that issue. So that on its face is false and can be proven to be so.
No, good point. Navy, I don't want you to feel like we're leaving you out, buddy. If you got anything to add in, make sure you jump in here, bro. And I appreciate you helping us out tonight.
Definitely. I'm just sitting back enjoying the conversation, listening to these two guys talk. It's awesome.
Yeah, man. And everybody, just so you know, Navy's been helping us get things together with guests. He's been grabbing links and coordinating in the chat things you guys are sending in. So, yeah. Make sure you guys, if you get a chance, thank Navy. Follow him on Twitter, whatever you can do here. Okay, so look, we've got several things we can do tonight, guys. I don't want to take away from the chance for you guys to talk. So anything you guys feel like you need to throw out there, make sure you do it. Though, there are several little things that I think kind of factor into the whole story, especially that have happened today. From everything being said, I think we need to go here. And on my screen, I've got the stream from Ruhif and Agrippa having that debate. So I'm going to actually pull it up. So what you can do, you can, on a PC, you can double-click my name where in the room we're in. And if you click it twice, you'll get to see my screen, and it'll be up. And then I can send audio to you so that you can hear what I'm playing. So if all you guys will double-click my name here in the Stream Room Alpha, it'll show you my screen. And if you need help, sir, let us know, because I know this is like one of your first times using Discord. So if you need help getting that done, I'm gonna play a clip, and then you guys let me know that you can hear it. Okay, you'll definitely be able to hear it though, as long as you've got the stream pulled up, and that way the stream hears it, you guys hear it. And I was thinking maybe what we could do is ask the audience if there's timestamps, or see if you guys have certain parts of this, or if we just want to watch through it, click through it. I already talked to Nate Brody. I'm going to respect fair use, but he also didn't say he cared if I played it. So, that way we can kind of, I know Kyle hasn't seen it, Navy hasn't seen it, and I haven't seen it. Robert's watched it at least, but maybe we can kind of talk a little, because Ruhif is the guy who's funding this. He's paying the bill. He's if it wasn't for him, Steve would not be suing Kyle. That's for sure. So there's a lot of nuance going on from Ruhif, I believe. So,
and that all stems from the fact that right after the split happened, he was sending me nonstop messages through Facebook Messenger saying, I need to realize that time's up, that I need to hand the channel over to Steve, all this other kind of stuff. And I finally got to the point where I told him to go fuck himself. And ever since I told him to go fuck himself, he's had this hard on for me. And that's where this sort of him trying to turn this case into a criminal case where I'm going to be prosecuted and put in jail comes from.
I didn't know that, man. That's a weird thing there. That's weird, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna give it a test run. Make sure you all let me know. I'm gonna play here. This is an audio test. Let me know if you can't hear this, and we'll get you set up. It's really easy.
Is that we've got lots of evidence, and we're going.
You guys have you guys hear that? Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
You're muted, Robert. But could you hear that clip? Okay, sir.
No, I missed what you wanted me to click on.
Oh, no problem. If you look here in the Discord application that you have open, if you see there's our 4 names on the left side, and if you double-click my name, if you just double-click me, that big wide open middle part will show my screen for you, so you can see what I'm seeing. And I can send you audio and such. So if you double-click me and now you see the middle screen is my screen, I'm going to play it, and you should hear this.
We're going to present it, and we're going to present it. I'm struck.
Could you hear that okay?
Yes, I hear it.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So now we've got the ability for us all to hear this. I think that the clip that I heard earlier where Ruhif, I don't know. I mean, let's just go through it, I suppose. Let's start here around the 2-3 minute mark, and we'll just listen for a second. Now, when I do this, anything you guys want to say, just start saying it. I will mute it. I'll pause. And any observation, anything at all, make sure you jump in, and we'll just see what we can do here.
Either that Kyle didn't have the presumption, or that the presumption can be overturned. Ruhef is now going to explain what the presumption is, why they hold the presumption, and why he believes that Kyle's mom was the agent and service was proper. Just to clear up some confusions. There's been a lot of confusion that Ruhef and Steve's side have been arguing that there was improper service, and even though there was improper service, he just got the documents. That is not their argument. Their arguments is that Kyle was properly served under North Carolina law. They have the presumption, and they will show that the presumption will hold. So they're not arguing improper service, and he just got the documents. They're arguing that he was properly served.
Okay, I got to stop already. How the hell is Ruhif going to argue that he was properly served when Nate yesterday showed North Carolina statute saying that you have to serve somebody at their address in order for them to be properly served? How is he going to overcome that? What's anyone's quick thoughts on it?
With stupidity and ignorance.
With the bombshell secret information, of course.
Oh, yeah, and I forgot, Kyle. Okay, they're saying you lived with your mother when you were served. That's what they're saying, just so you know. Well, what do you want to say to that? I mean, how did they think that?
Again, because they're stupid and brainless. I think I've provided plenty of evidence that that's not the case. I mean, I know that they want it to be the case, like they really want it to be the case, but in reality, it's just not the way that it works. It's just like flat earthers really want the earth to be flat, but it's just not, because reality.
How in the hell do they look at you having? So they're saying that you faked the bank account statements, you faked the tax stuff. That's what they have to say, that because those statements prove that you lived there when you were served. So they're saying you faked this stuff.
Well, you got to remember their argument is twofold. One, that Kyle didn't change his address with the post office, which apparently is the only thing you need. And you have to remember, Ruhif himself said before they started this, he studied North Carolina law before getting into this, so he obviously knows more than the entire judicial system of North Carolina.
Good point.
Well,
good point.
He also said to one of the points that was made that the court website is wrong. Like when showed I forget the argument, but I was reading the bullet points that was put in Discord, and his response to one of the points that Agrippa raised was that the court website is wrong. Imagine the gall it takes to say, no, I know better than they do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Okay, Conrad says, ask you about bank statements. I don't know what that fucking means. I guess dates on the bank statements. Is your date on the bank statements something of significance, or, just asking for the chat here for Conrad?
Is it of significance? It just shows that during that time frame that, the address on my bank accounts were reflective of my address in Charlotte. So do the tax documents. Am I faking the tax documents? I believe there's only one of us between me and Steve that is known for faking evidence and manufacturing that.
I don't think you faked evidence. I think that basically what they want to do.
You don't, but they do.
Yeah, they want to put out that presumption because you can see it in what they've filed, and you can also see it in the way they talk. You know, they like to use little words like Kyle claims he lived with his boyfriend. You know, and basically Ruhif comes right out to say it, that he's got secret evidence that you lived with your mother, and it's just so fucking stupid. I don't give a shit if you had, you know, somebody in the comments section was saying, like, of course, when you move from anywhere, from a family member's house, you're going to leave some of your stuff there. You're going to go see them sometimes, but what does that say to where you're living? Like, and then, yeah, how do they even know?
How do they know that? What if I mean, this isn't the case, but what if if me and my mother had a falling out and I haven't been back to see her since then? How do they know that I left shit at my mother's house? Like, these people are so completely brainless that they can tell me what I did in the specifics of what I did in my own move. They can't. Again, these are people that wish that this were the case. They want it to be the case so badly, but it's just not. And they shouldn't comment when they don't have any fucking clue about the details of the move or anything like that. They're just putting bullshit out there to see what sticks. And unfortunately for them, all of it's going to slide right off the wall. There's not going to be anything that sticks when the dust settles, and all they're going to be left holding is empty wishes and dreams that they wish were the case. And it's just not. It's not based in reality.
Yeah, I agree. I wish, lol, you really think you're not being laughed at? Amazing. No, you see, Matt, the difference between me and you, I don't care who laughs at me. I don't care what you guys think. And that might be where you misjudged me the whole time, I guess. But I understand how you feel about how others must think about other people. But, you know, maybe you should try it, big guy. Although I do know what you're doing. I don't blame you. Okay, so I'll let you troll a little bit before I ban you, so have some fun.
These people talk to you, Agrippa.
Well, no, this is M. Stone. He's not from Steve's camp. He's just a troll who likes to harass flatties and debunkers, and sometimes he'll like someone and he won't. He kind of flops around. He's a pretty emotional guy. He's you know, he was the dude that went to the fuck, dude. The FEIC thing. He was the dude that went to the FEIC thing. Yeah. Oh, I was waiting on you. I saw your mic light up. Anyway, here, I'll play a little bit more. We'll see what else, maybe if anything's worth commenting on here.
You have the floor. What is your argument?
Well, I guess the fundamental thing, without sort of going through the process of detailed law, is that there's some simple facts, one of which is that...
My God, who's talking? Agrippa? What's wrong with it's not Agrippa, because I think both their mics sound that way, but there is so much bass going on.
We've seen Steve's lawyer not get addresses right a couple of times now. So that's a key factor as far as I can see in turning over this presumption of service has been undertaken. The second thing is the assignment or the appointment of an agent. I'm struggling to join the dots between being a mum where Kyle used to live makes her an agent automatically. That one's a big reach for me.
Me too.
The
third making
one
good
is
points.
Going to be really based on the evidence Kyle presents of was he actually...
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Okay, Peepa says 58 minutes in, Ruhif implies Kyle didn't change his address on everything. Is that their secret info? You don't have to do that though, Peepa. Like Pippa, I'm sorry, I'm trying. You don't have to change your address when you move. I was saying this in Discord earlier. Okay, so to say that you not changing your address means you can be served anywhere. There wouldn't exist process servers if that was the case. If what Ruhif and Steve are arguing are actually real, the job of a process server would never exist, because why pay someone thousands of dollars to track you down and hand you a document when you can serve their last known address? Do you know how many people, you realize changing your address at the post office means you're going to get all that junk mail that for some stupid fucking reason some company wants to send you for an advert or whatever. Kyle, do you want to talk about that at all? Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? That whole thing about not changing your address seems so dumb, You're muted, Kyle. I don't know if you know that you're muted or not. I didn't know.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Oh, there you go. You're fine.
So, what I did was I changed my address to the things that were necessary to my life at the time and what I needed where I was at. So, for example, my bank statements, that's important. My tax information, that's important. I put forth a lease agreement. These things are pieces of evidence that can be shown to be accurate and true, and at the time that I say that they were. And the fact that there are some, you might find some things that still have my old address on is irrelevant. I'm sure that if there's several people who, when they move, they don't turn everything over to a new address because either you don't think about it or it's not something that's relevant to you, and you just don't think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have a day where I sat down and went through every single thing that has my address on it and changed it over. I changed the things that were relevant to me and my life at the time, and the things that I would need to be going to that particular address. And again, these are just desperate attempts to try to cling on to some pipe dream. But you have him saying 4 times they knew it was an old address. You have me not signing for the summons. You have the things that I put forth in the motion that show where I was at the time. These things are what the case is going to hinge on. Not did I change my address on some bill, from months back, and it wasn't relative to my life anymore. They're just desperate. These are desperate, sad attempts to throw shade on the other things, which are insurmountable in my opinion.
But very true. Mimi says having proof that you lived at your mother's address would have ended your claim straight away. So any evidence produced now would be questionable. What I've said the whole time is that they're going to forge documents. Steve has a proven history of creating fake screenshots, assisting in creating fake emails, and doing anything he can. Anything he can if it'll sway someone, a follower's mind. That's proven in the past. So you could be right, Mimi. You could be right, though. Okay, let's skip ahead a little bit. I mean, you can click. Oh, go ahead.
I had a couple of comments.
Yeah, definitely.
In that same area. If I remember my train of thought now. Oh, about the agent issue. When I hear people talk about she was an agent and what an agent is and all that stuff, I get confused. But I think it might be fairly simple. Here's my approach on that. In Rule 4, it mentions that if you deliver the summons to the person's residence, any adult there can sign for it and the service be legitimate. And in that limited context, you can say the person signing for it is the defendant's agent. Otherwise, you can send it anywhere. And as long as somebody is at some place that otherwise is legally designated as an agent with the authority to accept it, they can sign for it. That's why I think the case hinges on whether he was living there or not. Because if he was living there, his mother, in that limited context, can be considered an agent and the service effective. Ruhif, one of the quotes I posted in my graphic earlier today, he said, "We agree. If there was actual notice the service was defective, it should be thrown out. If service is real defective, it is defective." So all that talk about whether Kyle received it or not, they've conceded that issue. It's not relevant whether he received it. It's whether the service at his mother's residence was defective or not. What would make it defective? If Kyle had moved. And so far as what the public sees in social media, Kyle has overcome the presumption that the service was effective. And so the burden of going forward, as they talk in legal circles, is on Kyle to now overcome Kyle's overcoming McRae's presumption. When it gets to court, it might play out a little different if they get that far. And so that's what we're looking for, in my opinion.
I think that's dead on.
Yeah, there's two good comments. One, Amorosa Moon says that he's correct. An adult in the same residence can sign for it. She was not in the same resident and is not an agent. And I think that's a good point. And then Chimera says that Kyle, and she brings up the email thing. Do you remember when your music app had its email set to one that was allegedly attached to Steve McRae? Is it possible that account still had your old one listed in the profile section? I don't know what she's saying, but
my old what?
She's talking about, remember when he deleted your music app? I guess she's saying maybe like there was another email attached to it, and that's how Steve got access, and or whatever. You know, I don't know. It's hard for me to tell. I thought you might be able to know.
So I have the transcript from where I went through the Spotify with the Spotify's fraud department, and we fixed the issue. Yeah, that will come into play eventually, but there is overwhelming evidence that Steve did hack the account, that it was his email, and that his birthday and several other pieces of personal information were used by him, not only to approve the change that he did, because the confirmation email went to the same email address that was attached to his YouTube channel. So Steve is the only person that could access that, unless there are multiple people who have access to Steve's YouTube channel, and I don't see that being the case. So I can say with confidence that it was Steve McRae who absolutely hacked that account. There's no doubt in my mind whatsoever, and we will seek to prove that in a court of law when the time is appropriate.
Okay, and then after you do prove that, can you please go and can't your lawyer, and you don't have to answer anything, you can't, but can't the lawyer then petition to press criminal charges against him? Because that is a very serious thing. When you're partnered with the channel and someone hacks it, there are people that go to jail for that. There are people that are hacking YouTube channels that are getting charged when they take money,
I don't want to go too far in commenting.
Yeah.
No, aside from this is common knowledge, except to say that North Carolina has very specific and very unique laws when it comes to cyber hacking. And it would, these are it's common knowledge, but that's as far as I'm going to go in speaking to that aspect. Good. It's very specific.
Well, I don't have anything to do with it, and I'm going to say this: Steve McRae hacked your account and used his emails and set them to his emails, then went about deleting it, and I think that act, which you've already proven, if you want to go check the Non Sequitur Show community tab, you can see the evidence. It's proven. And then you can go check Steve McRae's About section and see the email. The thing is, for him to do that to you shows that this isn't about what's fair. Like, he's petitioning the entire internet to back him because he states that his channel's been stolen. And while doing this, he hacks one of your partnered accounts that you make money from and deletes it. Did you ever get it back, by the way? Did they ever have an opportunity to restore it or anything?
Oh, they absolutely did.
Thank God.
At the Spotify,
so Steve
fraud
could get
services
he could get a lot of shit for what he did, and it didn't even do anything because you just had it fixed. So that's an excellent fuck you. That's an excellent middle finger. And yeah, M. Stone, you know why I think you act like you do, man? Because I don't think you have any fucking clue what's really going on. I don't think you've paid attention to this whatsoever. You probably think this is some stupid fucking story out there that has to do with Kyle and Steve arguing over a YouTube channel. And because you think that, now you're out playing Mr. Righteous along with you and your buddies in Discord servers. But you know why we don't give two fucks what you and your crusty buddies think? Because you guys aren't the debunkers that you guys pretend like you are. You're not intelligent like you pretend like you are, or skeptical like you pretend like you are. You're purposely, ignoring going in and actually looking at what happened here so that you can make that stupid fucking argument, because you're just as bad as the flat earthers that you make fun of, my dude. But it's all good, I understand your need. I understand your need to jump up in here into the chat and run your mouth. The issue, though, is if you took a few seconds to look at what's going on, what they've done to Kyle, there would only be maybe 1 or 2 out of the 20 things that we can provably show McRae's done that you would change your mind really quick. That is, unless you're just trolling, which I know you are, so I'll shut up. All right, let's hear what else we got. I just got a timestamp, and it's a really good one. So we're going to start hearing the really good timestamps.
Even if he argued that, we would say we know that he got it. At least I think it's by September. At least by September 10th, because he's talking to Nick Lamar Suda, and he's talking to talking to Nick Lamar Suda about we got these papers, and I'm going to respond in a couple of weeks. So that, as a matter of fact, that's not an issue. If it was an issue.
Oh, I hate this guy. He's a pretentious motherfucker. I've never seen this dude talk before. He's a pretentious little soy bitch, dude.
That he only got it 2 or 3 days before. There's plenty of case law where they ask for an extension to reply. It gets granted.
He's saying, we can serve you in the most irresponsible, fucked up way ever. You need to ask for an extension, Kyle, and then go find yourself a lawyer. And he's making this argument with a straight face. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, he's not very bright. I'll say that.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, oh fuck, dude, so crazy.
They're clinging on to anything they can.
Yeah.
Don't think these pro se will have any weight with the judge?
No, plenty of evidence that he knew he had to respond. He said he was going to respond. He said he had a lawyer.
And that's called actual notice, Ruhif. Well, what did Nate Brody show a day or 2 ago? What have I shown? What has everybody else shown? Actual notice is not proper service. Proper service is proper service. It's a huge distinction here. You know what's funny, Kyle? Did anybody ever tell you in Australia how it works with changing your address? Anybody ever told you that, how it works in Australia?
Not that I'm aware of.
You can't even change an address at the post office in Australia like you can do here. And also, I know someone that lives in North Carolina, and they saw my show and they got a hold of me. And they told me that when you go to change your address at the post office, like they're saying that you should have done, it's only temporary. And the post office tells you in North Carolina that you must, before an amount of time is up, contact every place of importance where you get mail from and make sure they've got your new address, because at a certain time, they're not going to keep routing your mail for you at their expense. So I don't know, this whole argument about you changing your address, and it's weird that in Australia, you can't even do that at the post office. They don't offer that service for you. And it's even weirder in North Carolina. It's on a time limit, and then they stop routing your mail and tell you better have updated all of your addresses by then, or you're not going to get your mail from anywhere you don't update it. That's kind of funky, isn't it?
Extremely so. But not surprising.
It's not. Okay, let's keep. This isn't even the part. Let's let him keep going.
Yeah, that will. Yeah, not going to be an issue whatsoever.
Can I ask, one of the things that I've seen sort of sitting on the outside looking in is that always been we've got lots of evidence and we're going to present it.
Here it is.
I'm struggling why you haven't presented this evidence already.
Oh, yeah. I understand the whole secret evidence thing, and this the evidence that we will present at a hearing to show that he hadn't moved. I would have liked it to be in the brief the other day, and there are procedural reasons why it didn't get in there.
We have to talk about this because I find it to be a bold-faced and absolute lie. I just don't believe him. I'm not calling him a liar yet. Hearing it, I'm saying this dude's lying to me. So he's got evidence that proves his case, hasn't submitted it to the court yet, but because of, quote, procedural reasons, they have to submit it when they go to court. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck?
The procedure is you put it into the brief in the response to the motion that I filed. That's your procedure. That's your only opportunity to respond. Why the fuck wouldn't you include it as part of your evidence? That you would have to be monumentally stupid to not do that. That's your opportunity to get in the evidence against the merits of my motion. I mean, it's laughable.
Yeah, because if you look at court cases, you see that, like in murder cases and shit like that, if they like run in there and they try to enter some new evidence in the middle of shit, the judge is going to say no, and then they're going to object, and they're going to be like, Your Honor, this wasn't given to us ahead of time. And then they're going to say, Your Honor, listen, this was just given to us by a lady on the street when we walked in here today. You've got to give us a chance to at least, explain it to the court and explain it to you so that you can see it, because the whole case hinges upon what we were just handed, I mean, I get that can all be like just fluff for TV shows and movies and stuff, but it makes sense. You have to submit your evidence ahead of time and allow the other side time to go through all these fucking legal books and cases and shit so they can build their case. You can build your case. I mean, I was under the impression that court cases worked to where you present things ahead of time and then everybody gets an opportunity to fairly argue. Your lawyers do, at least, to fairly argue your side. How does Ruhif give your lawyer time to argue her side when they're going to drop some secret fucking thing on the judge at the last minute? How does that work?
It doesn't. And that's what I think that they're going to find out very quickly, is that, they're going to come up empty-handed with this tactic. All it is an attempt, in my opinion, to try to save face. Yeah, and I don't think it's going to work.
Well, and the thing is, of course, I'm not a lawyer, but it just doesn't make sense that there's going to be some procedural issue that prevents you from submitting evidence that would end the case before it starts.
Oh yeah. What do you have any thoughts, Mr. Beatty, at all on this part? I mean,
it goes back to some of what I was talking about earlier, that put yourself in the place of a judge, and Kyle comes in and says, I moved out of my mother's house July 16th. And the mother comes in with him, and as she's done earlier, apparently, in some of the proceedings, corroborates his claim. And McRae and his lawyer are there and throw some papers at the judge and says, see, these indicate he was there. And the judge says, Mr. Curtis, what do you have to say about this? And he offers his testimony in rebuttal. And it goes to what I talked about earlier about the issue being decided based on the credibility of the witnesses. And if you were the judge, which way would you go? I think Kyle can win in that scenario. I can't imagine, unless I've been fooled all along, and Kyle is the one that's not credible, I can't imagine any evidence they've got being so persuasive at the last minute to convince the judge that they're doing anything except playing more games, and that strengthens Kyle's case. And
yeah, the only thing they could do is what, like film Kyle visiting his mom. They're spying on him. They got detectives set on Kyle, and they follow him everywhere, and blah 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 blah. And who knows what the fuck they're gonna say? Like, I doubt they're gonna go that far. But I'm just saying.
I was going to also mention something a little more about the home issue that I don't remember it being brought up, but we talked about McRae saying after the fact that I knew it was the wrong address, but claiming that at the time he didn't know it was the wrong address, that he wasn't living there. I don't think it matters whether or not McRae knew that he'd moved or not. If he didn't know and Kyle moved, he still sent it to the wrong address and it wasn't effective. Even one of the court documents certifies some motion or something was sent to Kyle later, and it calls it his last known address. So at some point, they seem to have realized he was not living there. Now, obviously, if McRae knew he had moved, that really hurts his case. But he didn't have to know he moved for the service to be ineffective. It just matters that he did move. The fact that McRae didn't know doesn't matter. It was the wrong address, if that's what the facts show. So you could quibble about whether or not McRae knew or not. That's not the issue. The issue is, did Kyle move? It seems like Kyle is persuasive in establishing that with its testimony and the documentation. And so McRae loses. And so they got to have some pretty strong secret information to overcome what looks to be the preponderance of the evidence at this point based on what's in social media.
I'm with you. I don't think nothing in my mind can reckon what he could have. There's nothing that I even could fathom.
I think despite McRae's or Ruhiff's claim that the presumption holds, I think as far as the ultimate result, they've lost the presumption, and they're in damage control mode, try to meet their burden of going forward and putting Kyle in his place if they can.
Well, Darth Chaz says maybe Ruhiff is just bored, and that's exactly what I said in the beginning, Chaz. I was saying I think Ruhiff is trolling. I think he's wasting time and trolling. You get that a lot in this community from some creators or some individuals that, request time from people. I don't know.
He could do something. He could do something so much better with the money that he's wasting. I believe it's Agrippa that said on many occasions, and he's got a good point. He could have given Steve the money that he's spending on this court case, and Steve would be set for a while, or this money, instead of just blowing it on these frivolous aspects of the case, do something with charity. You know what I mean? Like if he feels like he needs to spend that money so bad, do something with charity. Like the what he's doing and the hill that he's trying to die on is just getting ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely is. Definitely is. I wanted to come up with one thing that he could have as secret evidence. There's nothing that I can even think of. You can't fucking.
Well, he does have a written handshake.
That's true. That's true. I don't know if there's any more to this clip or not. Let's see here real quick.
But it does exist. I'm not Steve going out there.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just asking why it hasn't been presented. That was my only question.
Basically procedural reasons.
You're not blowing smoke up my ass and saying, it's secret stuff.
Yeah,
I'm sure there is a case there.
Kyle was on ProLib's channel yesterday, the day before, and he said we're filing another amended motion, another response to this motion.
What now? Wait. What the fuck is this now? When you were on ProLib's channel, you were talking about your attorney responding to what they put, right? Or what they
he's just not he's apparently he doesn't have a grasp on how this procedure is what the procedure is for this motion. We file a motion, they get to respond, then we get the last word. That's the way to do it.
I don't even understand what he's saying here. It's like, no shit, Sherlock. That's how this goes. Thomas says, I wonder if SM is lying to Ruhu on what the lawyer is actually saying. I think he's lying to everybody. But the thing is, Ruhif's paying, so the thing is, if you're going to pay, I would assume Ruhif would say, I'm paying this lawyer. You put me on that lawyer's list of, like, people that can talk to the lawyer. So I would assume Ruhif is also talking to the lawyer. It's not just Steve.
He's Steve's power of attorney.
Yeah, that's true.
So Ruhif essentially supersedes any decision that Steve could make because Steve signed him over to power of attorney. So if Steve wanted something done and Ruhif didn't, they would have to go with Ruhif's decision on it because Steve signed it over to him.
So what is the why would any adult male make another adult male from another country that you've never met? I'm just saying because of a far distance and you're never going to meet the guy. Why would you sign power of attorney over your entire fucking life just because the guy has $1 million in the bank? Why?
That's the $1 million question, and one that eventually we'll get to the bottom of. But the thing is, usually the power of attorney is given to someone when the person that is the person that is passing over the power of attorney can't make decisions for themselves. Or
they're sick, they're dying.
Has an extenuating circumstance as to why they can't make decisions based on themselves. There isn't really a clear reason or one that would make sense of why a grown healthy for all intents and purposes man would sign over his power of attorney to someone when he's in I was going to say when he's in the right state of mind. I personally don't think he's in the right state of mind. So maybe it's actually good that he signed over his power of attorney.
No, definitely. Here's my thing, right? If I was going to sign power of attorney to somebody, it would be Rachel. It would be a family member, a close one. And it would be under an extenuating circumstance, blah, blah, blah. It's so strange because it's like, once you do that, you're putting so much trust. Now, he's saying that he trusted you to have a handshake agreement on a 50-50 business that made a shit ton of money to not fuck him over. You supposedly, according to Steve, fuck him over, right? You didn't know him that long. You basically just oh shit, hold on, I gotta move this song up. Okay, that copywritten. Well, hold on real quick. And so you don't know, Steve doesn't know you that long, and then he enters in, like, what he's saying is from the very beginning of non-sex, so he didn't even barely know you, and he went into this 50-50 business with you, which is what he wants us all to believe. Some dude he'd only known a week or two, he's in a 50-50 business with, and then he claims that you've stolen his daughter's inheritance and his business, and then all these issues happen, so what does he do? He trusts Ruhif with the power over his entire legal life. How the fuck does that add up?
Here's the thing. Did I fuck over Steve McRae? Okay. I had a channel that
I don't think you did. No, I was just saying his claim.
Yeah, no, I'm just for those people who do. I tried at every opportunity to work with Steve before axing him completely. I brought the number of days that he was on down. He didn't fight that either. He went along with it, and I think people know Steve. And if he really had 50% ownership in this channel, he would never let that happen. But he went from 7 days to 5 days to 3 days to 2 days, and that was my attempts at waking him up, saying, "Look, the way that you're doing things right now isn't working. So I'm having to pull you the days that you're on down in order to make room for people who aren't comfortable coming on with you a chance to come on the show." I attempted to at several opportunities that can be proven to pay him something for being a part of the channel. He denied those even up until the night that we split with the Shannon Q clip.
And it's recorded.
He denied that. So Steve McRae screwed Steve McRae. And also to me stealing money from his daughter, Steve could have taken me up on those times that I offered to pay him. He could have taken when I said, "Hey, do you want your money?" He could have, instead of saying no, he could have said yes. And then he could have taken that money and he could have given it to his daughter. So the only person in this whole entire thing that stole from Steve's daughter is Steve McRae himself.
Definitely. And this is something people like old school trolls and members of the debunking community that sometimes pop into my chat and run their mouths. This is something they don't understand about me. Why do I believe you don't owe Steve any money? Because I don't believe that you owe Steve any money. When you did owe Steve money, it was before he had destroyed the channel and incited the subscribers to leave the Patreon, unsubscribe, stop watching, harass you incessantly, and chase you off the internet. And when he decided to not only do that, incite people to do that, help with that happening, but not speak against it. If he wanted to make the claim now, I didn't want the non-sec to die, it just happened. Well, we know that's not true. It's recorded what you did, but you still didn't even bother to tell people not to do these things to non-sec and try to defend your business that you're planning on suing and getting. If he had a 50-50 with you, he would have never said he couldn't sue you. He would have never thought that he couldn't do something. He would have sat there and said, "Nobody attacked that channel because I'm going to be back there after I go to court." And he never did that. He just attacked the fuck out of you. And when Ruhif walked in and sat there, called him one day and said, "Bro, I'm going to pay you to sue Kyle because he told me off in the DMs and I've got the money to fuck this dude over," Steve said, "Are you going to give me some money if I do it?" And he said, "Okay," and here we are. So, yeah,
what kind of person that is a 50-50 partner, like he says we were, actively burns their, to quote him, burns their business to the ground? What sense does it make for somebody who claims to have a vested 50% interest in a business to go out and actively try to destroy it at every opportunity? They wouldn't, because that wouldn't make sense. And it's the very reason it's another nail in the coffin as to proving that he had no 50-50 partnership with me.
Very true, man. No, I'm with you. And then I've got these clips of him promising that he had a contract and then saying that he didn't have a contract. That's enough right there because it shows an active lie. Let's hear a little more of this after we take a 30-second break. My e-cig battery is dead, and I'm going to run up and change it. Oh, I got juice. I'm going to go change it out real fast, so don't go anywhere. I'm muting, guys. You guys can talk amongst yourselves, do whatever. We won't be able to hear you, so go ahead. Here you go. We are here with Robert Beatty, who is he runs a Facebook group called Kent Hovind's Worst Nightmare. He is a long-term debunker from the old school who's been debunking Hovind for longer than I can even accurately tell you, and he runs several social media things like Twitter and Facebook and the Facebook group I told you about. Make sure you follow him. He's in here giving his opinion. We got Kyle Curtis, the man himself, who, if any of those old school trolls in the Vladdy debunking community are listening, hasn't had the opportunity to come out and address these claims and to actually be able to respond. And he literally just started doing this in the last few months, probably the third or fourth time that I've even sat with Kyle and had him respond to the claims that have constantly been made about him for a year. You know, I can't help but thinking if one of those old school debunkers were in Kyle's shoes, they wouldn't be acting like this was silly and this is not worth talking about, you know? But me, myself, I think that Kyle, whenever he wants to, can come on my show and just call me, just come up, just hit me up, and be able to rebut whatever he wants, because he's being ordered through a court not to stream on his channel. And so I want to give him the opportunity to have a place to go and actually defend himself from these crazy claims that are being made by the other side. Because I'm going to tell you this, everything I've heard come out of Ruhif's mouth only makes sense for one purpose, and that is, if he says these things, some people that are listening are still going to support them online on YouTube and social media. And personally, that's the fabric that I think holds their argument together. Say whatever they got to say to keep the cult members culting. But we'll be right back in about 30 seconds. I have to vape if I'm going to stream. I'm going to grab my battery.
Your God now.
All right. Yeah, I want to talk to Kyle about this a little bit. Let me unmute here. All right.
Study.
Oh, sorry, guys. We're back. We're back. You can keep going, though. Just keep us updated. What's up? What's up?
I was going to mention another analogy that I thought of while you were talking about McRae, going back to the secret information. Let's see, on August 14th in a broadcast, Kent Hovind announced, by the way, this is a quote, by the way, there is a motion in now to alter things radically, kind of like having secret information to blow the top off a case. I couldn't find where any such motion had been filed. If he did, maybe it'll show up this week. But there's no reason to believe, given his history and the nature of the cases he's got going, that anything's going to radically change. And that may be another good analogy to make to McRae's secret information that's going to win their case.
I agree.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. Kyle, I want to ask you, what do you think, you were back in the old school flat earth debunking community, and I had a little experience with some of those guys. I even had some of them on my show back when I was making those types of videos. And there's a little bit of a gatekeeping that happens in, with some of those old channels. What experiences do you have with that group of people who seem to have, been around since a long time ago, challenging the flatties that are there? Do you have any significant stories or any interactions or?
Well, I can point to the fact that if you look at the progression of the non-sec channel, I found, personally, I always found Flat Earth to be intriguing. I'm a huge space person, and I really got into the aspects of just learning the arguments to debate flat earthers. I always found it interesting because you learn a little bit about space in that, and that always was one of my my passions. So I wasn't comfortable with a lot of the things that were going on, a lot of the clickiness of it, and the sort of it to me there was just I got a weird vibe towards the last half of the non-sec show. So if you notice, me and GE started doing Flatterday nights on Saturday, and it was a me and GE thing. From time to time, we would have Reds in, but not nearly as much as we had in the beginning. And that was because things started to and I don't know how to put my finger on it, but I just got a weird vibe from that. So me and GE started, kind of doing our own thing on Saturdays with that. With them, the issue is when you have people like Reds on this in this drama, that's gonna by default pick up the channels like Team Skeptic, Team Anti-Skeptic, and Fight the Flat Earth. These channels are tied essentially to Reds and Jared and Sean Hufford, because a lot of their audience is built on top of and shares with Reds and Sean and them. So any move that they would make to and they may see very clearly that Steve is wrong in a lot of these things that he does, they won't come out and say it because they risk their part of their channel imploding because of that shared subscriber base with Reds in them. I think that's cowardice. I think that it shows a lack of character. Sometimes you have to make difficult decisions that are going to cost you in the short term a part of your subscriber base, but that in the long term you will probably grow even more because people will see you as somebody that has character and can stand up to people who are bullies and who are liars and who are trying to harm others on the platform. So my summation of them would be complete cowards and lack of character and not being able to do the right thing for fear of losing that precious subscriber number.
Conrad says, if we could buy Steve for what he actually is worth and sell him for what he thinks he is worth, we could fund this whole case. That's so true, dude. That's a really
and then
good.
some.
Hi, Strawberry Harpy. Good to see you. Yeah. Okay. So my experience with that group is it's a little bit of a gate-kept group that I think you're right. And that's the reason why that thing you just described is created, is because of this gatekeeping that they've done, which it's crazy because, I get it. I know that's why M Stone's in here running his mouth. I'm starting to finally get you in and getting you moving on to other topics. And then eventually we might just have a conversation about what you just talked about. And you being someone that was around back then that, you took their little flatty debunking thing and Non Sequitur took it and exploded it out into something that a lot more people were interested in. And, channels were born from certain people appearing on Non-Sec, and it gave them their initial push. And that's factual. They've told me that themselves, that's what happened to grow their channels in the beginning. And when you combine gatekeeping with this little push that they got, these guys feel like now, it doesn't matter what the facts are. It doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong. What matters is if you're encroaching on their territory, they're going to gang up in a group and rally their troops against you. That is what flat earthers do. That's not what a skeptic does. A skeptic looks at the flat earthers doing that and calls them out and debunks them with facts and moves on. So it's a bitter irony, but I know people like Matt M. Stone, and people like the other people that are near him and that have been around him for a long time in that OG Flatty debunking area. They hate my fucking guts because I exposed them as just as bad as the Flatties that they've bitched about for years. But, you know, you get me.
Yep. Well, he thinks we're both ridiculous. Well, we think you're fucking stupid, M. Stone. So.
Well, he said that everybody's laughing at you, Uni. Well, I get you saying that, M, because your everybody is that tight little knit group you're a part of. But in all reality, see, you've got tunnel vision because really the everybody is the entire rest of the world. So yeah, your everybody, this tiny little thing, it might be laughing at me. But that whole big world out there is laughing at you guys. Let's hear this next clip because I want to get through this actual clip here and get this part over with because we've still got another thing we can look at. So let's take a listen.
I don't think that will be allowed, but if they do, then I imagine this secret evidence will probably be in our response to that. But like I said, I don't think that will be allowed.
Just stop.
I hope Agrippa and Nate, rip them for this tactic. This is a bullshit tactic he's using on the audience. As simple as that.
There for a sec, Glenn, because in that response, your lawyer's latest response,
yep,
the first paragraph, he mentioned this ability to negate any further responses going back, fundamentally, setting it all back to Kyle's original response. Did you have the law that should have been used from I could say
that's our point. Is there is no law. There is no law saying that you can amend a motion. Yeah. So when it says it does not contemplate amendments of motion, you can't quote a law. It's not there. That's the point. Does that make sense?
So judge's discretion basically. I'll allow this to continue.
Yeah, I think it will be allowed, given that his first motion was pro se and this one was not.
Yeah, I think that's the elephant in the room is the pro se thing. And that's where I think Kyle's going to get a fair bit of leeway to a point. There's a realistic point where, hey, and if what you're saying is correct, that there's a knowledge base sitting out there and there's evidence sitting out there. Again, the veracity of that evidence in the judge's eyes is going to be the issue. Does the judge think that's enough?
Can I step in just for one procedural point?
Yeah, you shouldn't let him in a debate or discussion even reference. And I don't know. I'm not trying to be a dick and tell Nate what to do. You shouldn't even let him bring this shit up. This is what he's doing. He's gaming this whole conversation. Go ahead, guys. Anyone else want to get in on that secret evidence thing?
I just don't think that he. I'll just say this really quickly. I don't. Nothing he said is substantial. It has any substance to me. There's nothing substantive about it.
Nah, in one ear, out the other type shit. We're all sitting here like, bruh, he wasn't served properly, and he's sitting there like, yes, he was. We swear. Like he doesn't say shit other than like, yes, he was. That's it. He's just giving us a yes, he was. That's all I'm hearing right now.
That's why I'm looking forward to the judges making a decision after the hundreds of hours of social media chit chat. It will be, I think, surprising to see how little has to be said by the judge to conclusively resolve the matter. And I think the weight of the evidence goes to Kyle. And one of the other quotes I put in my graphic earlier today from Ruhif was he said he wasn't 100% sure they were going to win, nowhere near, and then mentioned maybe 80%. So they know they got a problem. It's just a matter of judgment as to what the risk is. I think they're overstating their case, and they think we're overstating Kyle's case. So let's rush it to the judge. I'd like to see that personal hearing sooner rather than later, and be not surprised that the judge resolves it with 3 pages or less of an opinion.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. At the very beginning of this whole mess, Kyle simply put out you would I would expect, anyone would expect this whole thousands of hours of banter to not exist. It only exists because of the gamesmanship, secret evidence, and other things that we're hearing from the other side. Kyle makes a small, short statement. I didn't get served properly. Here's why. Here's some evidence to prove it. These guys ignore the evidence. They ignore the core point, and they go out into fucking la-la land and just start grabbing every fucking little thing they can and saying, look at this, look at this, look at this. And then here at the end of the discussion, after we've all fucking given them the time of day when we shouldn't have because we got trolled, is secret evidence, secret evidence, secret evidence. It's pitiful, in my opinion.
They better hope they have it.
Well, let's hear what Nate says, because Nate's interjecting right here. So let's hear what Nate interjects with. And if I was doing this, I would have said, okay, do I got to kick you out of here, Ruhif? Why in the fuck would you, to a serious discussion, bring up some secret evidence that you can't fucking explain here? You want to bring it up here, tell us what the fuck it is. Drop it on the table now. Or else, what the fuck are you in here doing this for, dude? Like, you just fucked our conversation. There are going to be people in the audience now who are going to just let their minds go running wild with this fucking speculation over what your secret evidence is, and that's going to distract from the rest of the conversation, and people are going to be sitting there on the edge of their fucking seat waiting to see what it could be,
If Kyle's motion from his attorney is allowed in, then you have a response, and then usually by right. Again, I don't practice in North Carolina, but usually by right, the plaintiff then has the right to rebut just that, and that will be the final say. So I just want to make very clear. So are you guys saying that that Kyle should not be able to file the rebuttal to your last filing?
It depends what he posts. If it's
what? Hold on. It depends what they say. If they say something that's going to fuck us, then fuck no, they shouldn't be able to say anything. They shouldn't be able to rebut. But if they say something stupid, then oh yeah, let them rebut that shit. What are you saying, dude?
It's an amended motion, then no, I don't think he should. He's already had 2 bites. If it's a rebuttal, sure. And then I guess at trial, we'll have to, not at trial, at the hearing, introduce evidence that he didn't.
Here we fucking go again, man. Here we go again.
That proves he doesn't know a thing about what's going on. That's exactly what's happening, is a rebuttal to your rebuttal to my motion. That's the way that it goes. I make a motion, you get a chance to rebut, and then we get a chance to respond.
Yeah, he's acting like it's the opposite here. I don't know what the fuck's up now. And it's the problem is that dude over there, Ruhiv. I want to be, I don't get it, dude. Like, I want to give him the credence. I want to give him like some type of human fucking nice thingy. I want to be like, okay, bro, explain yourself. Like, hook us up. Like, get us there.
Throw that shit out the window.
Yeah, it's too late. This motherfucker's purposely pulling a fucking, he's pulling some troll maneuvers. Yes. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Secret.
From what I hear in this, Agrippa's doing a really good job at guiding the points and the conversations into where it should go logically, and then Ruhif is filibustering with what ifs and aspects of the case that aren't really in play. So I think it was a really good showing of Agrippa to kind of guide that conversation, and then really weak on Ruhif's part to drop the ball at each point like he did.
Well, okay, me and Agrippa haven't always gotten along. We know that, but when I heard that Agrippa was the one who was going to be talking to Ruhif, I was fucking ecstatic, because I said on Periscope, Ruhif is good at stating arguments and doing what he does. I was just happy that that Agrippa was the one that was, and he didn't fucking disappoint from what I've seen up to now. He didn't disappoint.
Oh, not at all.
Didn't actually move.
Okay.
But yeah, we're not planning on relying on that yet.
Yeah, just on the need for a hearing, and maybe Nate, you can clear this up. There, from what I understand, there is no need for a hearing if the judge can make a decision on this set-aside motion. There doesn't need to be a hearing for that.
Wham! Yes!
That's possible as well.
Yes!
Yeah.
So let's just say this. if let's say you've got some secret fucking evidence, what is it? Ruhifanol. Let's say Ruhifanol, you got some secret evidence, my dude. File that shit so the judge can just say, fuck all this, I got this shit, it works, let's go. Why the fuck are you letting this goddamn tit-for-tat dance happen if you've got the secret fucking slayer in your pocket?
The thing is, you know, it's too late if he does have it now, you know, because the motion that's getting ready to come is going to be from my side as a response, and then the judge is going to set the date for to hear the motion. Like this past filing would have been his opportunity to put that evidence in to try to squash the motion from going any further, and he didn't. I don't know what procedural things that he's talking about that prevented him. I'm not an attorney, so I'm just putting that out there first. I can't think of any that would prevent him if he had substantial evidence that that contradicted mine. He would have put it in there, I would think.
Or wait, okay, I got to go back. I got to track this. I know nothing about the law. I've never claimed to. I don't, I've just been having fun with this shit. My point is, okay, so this hearing that's coming up, the judge is going to be hearing the stuff that you guys have filed here, right? That's what the judge hears. The judge doesn't hear a bunch of new shit at the hearing, right? Am I wrong, or is that normal? I couldn't tell you. I don't know if, during the hearing they're going to have an opportunity to, well, I assume that they would have an opportunity to respond. But my point is, I don't know why they wouldn't put into play any evidence to unless they're
even
playing
stop it from getting to
gamesmanship.
that point.
Well, here's the point, though. I thought, okay, and now I'm this idiot that tries to logically think this shit through. I thought you file some shit, they file some shit. You might file some shit back, they might file some shit back. The judge meets and looks at all the garbage right there and says, here you go, boys. And that's it. Because the reason why you two are going back and forth filing shit here and there is because it gives each other side the opportunity to respond, to look up cases, to make their arguments, to change things, to go grab that thing that is like, oh shit, I'm sitting here all night pouring through this law book and I just found it. That all goes out the window if why in the fuck would he say anything? If you can just show up to the hearing, jump in the air, do a backflip, do some kangaroo kicks, and then throw down your fucking secret evidence, why would he submit anything to you before the hearing? Why wouldn't he just keep it all secret? I don't understand.
It may be that you're right there, that the judge is going to make a decision based on the motions that he has. I don't know enough to be able to say one way or the other. I don't know the procedure like that.
Yeah,
I'm trusting my attorney on that, so I don't want to say one way or the other. But you may absolutely be correct that that's the way that it's going to
Daryl said there's no new stuff at the hearing, and then Daryl elaborates. The hearing is where you review all submitted evidence. You cannot introduce new stuff. That's what I thought, Daryl. Yeah. Old man Dan says, here is 10 smackaroonies to buy Kyle some secret evidence. Mwahahaha.
And you know what? That secret evidence is worth about 1 million times more than the secret evidence that Steve has.
I was only going to do one moo-ha-ha, but then I started laughing, so my moo-ha-ha went on longer. I'm sorry. And I want to say this too, Kyle, Navy, Mr. Beatty, if you guys have to leave at any time, you're more than welcome to. We do this every night or every other night, and you guys are welcome to come in any night you want. You know that when we're all doing this, so don't feel obligated to hang late or anything, or, and if you want to interject with anything, or if you want to go and if you have a different topic you want to hit, more than welcome to bring it up. So we could go through more of this clip, but I kind of don't want to, because we've really skipped the good stuff. The good stuff is the Drunken Peasants stream, and I kind of want to look at it a little bit, if that's all right with everybody.
Why not?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Well, I'm loading it right now into my stream window so that your audio will now switch over, and visually it should have switched over to the Drunken Peasants. I'm going to do a sound check. Hold up.
I want to do it my own.
You guys hear that okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, we are primed here at this timestamp. So, the reason why this timestamp is good, and if there are any old school members of the Flatty debunking community out there who are very disturbed and triggered at the fact that we're all meeting here and talking about this, again, as they say, beating this dead horse over and over and over. This all just happened. This happened yesterday. And that stream that we just looked at happened earlier today. So anyway, I find it relevant, and I don't give a shit. You know what? You know what I want to say to the M Stone and the members of the Flatty debunking community? Why do you guys sit around for 10 years beating the same dead horse, doing content and discussions over flat earth when you can debunk it in just a minute? You know, why would you ever beat a dead horse like that? Blah, blah, fucking blah, hypocritical shit from M Stone. Okay, now, here's the clip where Katie Joy Paulson is mentioned. But before we go there, I want to just, have the opportunity for you guys to throw out your thoughts. And I'm going to kind of lead in here with this. Steve McRae. Oh, go ahead, sir. Yeah.
I was going to add, or remind what we mentioned earlier, that Ruhif mentioned that if the judge decides after reading the motion filings to issue a ruling without a hearing that he would appeal, that may be telling that, he wants a personal meeting to pull some stunt, and he won't be there. The lawyer and McRae will have to withstand the wrath of the judge if they pull some stunt with some supposedly secret information. And
that's true.
They're likely to lose on appeal, but that seemed to be their strategy, is to get to a personal hearing as opposed to a ruling based on the filings. And I can see the judge looking at the filings and deciding, I don't need to see these clowns. There's enough here for me to decide in my discretion. And based on that notion that the system doesn't really like default judgments anyway, there's no good reason not to sustain or not to overrule the default judgment. Get it done, get it over with, and see if McRae wants to try again.
I agree, and I'm going to drop now my very secret, very inventive Unispiracy theory for the world. I think that Ruhif and Steve need the default, and they know they've lost to the non-service issue. So I think they are going to pull some bullshit, and in hopes that they can maybe get the judge to make some ruling on something, right? And then maybe file an appeal or something, personally. I think they want to make an appeal, and I think that they want to, do something that we don't know about, that we don't understand yet, that might allow them to take it somewhere else or to get it looked at somewhere else. I don't know. They need the default judgment. I know that, because it's the only way they're winning. When the judge looks at Kyle's evidence, Steve's going to lose. So that's I think they are gaming the system. I think there's a trick coming, and it's going to have something to do with, I don't know how, I'm trying to think of it, but something to do with making sure that they can appeal or making sure that they get some stacked favor. I don't know. Anyway. Now we can move on, unless you want to. Go ahead. Jump
I was just going to say, for sake of discussion, claiming you got secret evidence is equivalent to claiming you got nothing new. As far as what we're doing in social media, we have to evaluate the case based on the evidence before us.
Yeah.
And based on that, it's easy enough to conclude Kyle's got a winner, and pulling that secret information stunt is equivalent to saying we got nothing new. It's an admission that what you're seeing now, McRae's got a loser.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they know that too, I think. For sure. Okay, so let's move into this next piece, because it's pretty important. I don't want to miss it before anyone has to go. So here's what we got. We got Katie Joy Paulson filing the restraining order on Steve McRae. It is a real restraining order. It exists. It existed. It was transmuted into an NDA. I've shown more than enough evidence to this for the context of you watching, due to the fact that Steve offered $1,000 if I could prove he ever had a restraining order and some shit like that. Well, Steve, you owe me $1,000. It's in my YouTube videos. I'm waiting on my PayPal deposit that I'll never get. Though,
keep waiting
forever in perpetuity. I'll be waiting for that $1,000. Here's what's up. Katie filed the restraining order, and it got transmuted into an NDA. The proof of that is that I had Katie telling me that Steve McRae was coming to her back when she could talk. You see, once they started officially talking about an NDA, neither side can continue talking publicly about any of this. Luckily, before the lawyer had actually presented this whole thing to her, and then her lawyers and Katie and everybody sat down and figured it out, she was talking to me about this and told me what happened publicly when she was allowed to. It wasn't like she wasn't allowed to, because the attorneys had called and they had an initial discussion, and she was still allowed to talk publicly about it. I showed evidence of that in a YouTube video. For Steve to say that that's not evidence, Katie is a member of this NDA. For her to say, Steve's attorneys are approaching me about an NDA and it's going to solve all of our problems, it's going to be massive, it's going to be awesome, and blah, 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 blah. That you saw in my video, the content nuke that I dropped when Sherelle's World, it had Sherelle in the beginning and it led into that content nuke, that is direct evidence. Katie saying that is direct evidence. People said, if anyone stood up and said, hey, right before Steve stopped talking about Katie, he told me that they were negotiating an NDA, that would be evidence towards Steve having an NDA signed with Katie. Long story short, though, after Steve and Katie sit down and sign the NDA, just like I think Steve and Ruhif are working now against Kyle, Steve had a plan, and it was, if I can get Katie to sign the NDA, I'll give her everything she ever wants from me, and as long as then I can go and imply everything I want to my ding-dong audience and the ding-dong flatty debunking community that exists, those non-skeptics out there, and then they'll all buy my implication, and I'll never have to explain it, and everybody will be happy. The sheer fact that he's never discussed it is proof of the NDA. But thankfully, we've got even more massive evidence of the NDA right now from the Drunken Peasants podcast. That's the clip you're about to see. Let's take a look, and then we'll get everybody to talk about it. Before we play, any of you guys want to add anything, you're more than welcome to. Hit it, if you want.
Look at Steve's face. Keep your focus on Steve's face during this entire clip.
Yeah. Yes.
I think I'm going to check out here and catch you later.
All right, Mr. Beatty.
We really
Thanks for the
appreciate it.
invitation.
Well, you're always welcome here with us when we're doing any type of discussion. So if you ever see us talking or hear that we're going to do it, you're always welcome. Make sure you come anytime.
Put an R in the chat for Mr. Beatty.
Yeah. Press F to pay respects, and an R. Big R, and press the F to pay respects. Thank you, sir. We'll see you soon. Really appreciate you. Okay, that was, let me go ahead and shout him out before we get going. That was Robert Beatty. You can find him on Twitter. If you look at my Twitter timeline, I've retweeted him. Please follow him on Twitter. Give him support. Join his Facebook group. You will learn a lot. You will be able to participate in discussions that debunk religious extremists and discuss Kent Hovind and others. The Facebook group is Kent Hovind's Worst Nightmare. Also, he's got a blog where he writes papers about what he does, and he's done some excellent work that really broke ground before there was even a YouTube debunking community like we know of now, where there's a lot of creators that do it. One of the originals. And damn, you guys are paying some respects. Look at that. Look at that. Man, they love this guy.
That's his Twitter is Beatty V Hovind, BATYVHOVIND.
Yeah, my mods will make sure they drop the links to Mr. Beatty's Twitter, because from the Twitter you can find the blog, Facebook groups, and all that. Mods, hit that up for me. Now, we've got Navy left. We've got Kyle left. Navy, you haven't been able to jump in a while, man. What do you think about everything so far? You got any observations before we move into this next clip?
Well, the biggest thing about the whole secret evidence, we've seen what Steve has when he before, right? It turned out to be, and everyone was just like, "Oh, that's super secret." Look, and now he's coming up and saying it again. They have this secret evidence. Well, it just sounds. First off, it just sounds silly. It really just sounds like if you say something like, "In my opinion, we have some other evidence. We have to. It's gonna be later on because of this and this." When you come out and say, "I have this secret, treasure trove of evidence that's just gonna blow this out of the water," you just sound like you're just making stuff up, and it's not helping them at all, even if they do have something.
Well, I think, yeah, that's the point. I think it's purposeful. I think Ruhif's trolling. I think he hates the fact that people use that meme against Steve. Every time Steve promises evidence, everyone calls it secret evidence, and he don't like it. And yeah, truly, I think that's what that's all about. That's his way of kind of trolling back. Okay, here we go. We've got this clip, and I'm going to zoom in on it. We're going to look at, in fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a brand new Streamlabs scene for this. So what I want to do real quick, this will just take a second. I'm going to capture this. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to move over to this unused scene, this new one I have, and I'm going to paste this reference frame. Now, I'm going to zoom in on Steve McRae's face on this so that you can literally watch the blood drop from his face hole, okay? Oh, there we go, dude. Here, let me move my... Actually, oh, I fucked it up. Okay, hold on. No. Let me do it like this because I want to keep this together. Here, let me just do that. Press this button here and hit enter. All right, now I can move myself around with my shadow. All right, now let's pull this over here. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to just focus in on that little part of this. It's the only part you need to see anyway. Here you go. Let's hear this clip. And, well, you know what? I want you to see who's with me. So we're going to put that right there. Man, I love having an extra scene. I got to start using this scene for other things like this when we stream. So here we go. This is massive, in my opinion. This is more evidence. This is... Damn it. I tried to mute the music. To anyone out there who ever said that he doesn't have an NDA, that the RO was not transmuted into an NDA, anyone out there that lied for him, you got fucked yesterday and proven to be a purposeful liar with this
my own direction, and you know, people don't like you, and I'm like, oh really? That's why 95% of the fan base came to my channel. Okay, but you know, he thought the show was about him, and his ego got massively huge, and then he thought he could actually basically change the terms and conditions of our agreement, and I wasn't gonna let that happen.
What terms and conditions, you fuckhead?
Exactly. I was about to call him out right here for lying too. And everything he just said there was a projection of what he tried to do to you, a projection from himself. It's just fucking stupid. Okay, here we go. This is it. You have to watch very closely, stream. If you don't watch closely, you're not going to catch the nuance of what's about to happen. I want to get Cheshire and Steve in here. Okay, we got it. You're not going to be able, if you don't watch closely, you're not going to catch the nuance. Why this is so important, why it's so massive. Here we go. Take a look at what Chesh says and does, and look at what's Steve's face when this happens.
Yeah, and what happened with his buddy? What was it? Katie Joy Paulson? Was that her name?
They're still buddies.
She was.
Or they were buddies, and they weren't buddies.
She was butting heads with Diorio and all those people.
Really?
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
There's a bunch of ex-co-hosts that Kyle brought on, right?
Yeah.
She covered Jelly Juice. Like
an ex-co-host that Kyle brought on, that would make her a co-host, Ding Dong Face.
I've said it before, or I said it the other night, and I'll say it again, just because our beloved 62 IQ is starring in this. If I wanted to kill myself, I would climb up Chesh's ego and fling myself down to her IQ. Her bubbling, stammering, and that annoying laugh that she has is the epitome of evil. COVID-19 wouldn't even darken her doorstep.
Oh, it's so true, man. Because look, she just laughs at it. She's just like, look, you know that he told her, and the really close sycophants like Pee Poo Productions and others, you know he told them he had this agreement because they were all playing damage control for him with specific narratives. They had to know the truth. And for her to laugh like that when Ben Pie calls him out for Katie Joy, though, what I want you to all focus on is Chesh and Steve going to actually answer the question, what happened with Katie? The one that served you an RO? The one you signed an NDA with? The one who you attacked for a year? The one you created a Facebook group? Why isn't he talking about the Facebook group? Why isn't he talking about what happened in court? He's supposedly not restricted. Uni's a liar because he says that there's an NDA in place. Anyway, let's keep listening. We're gonna
what's funny though is
Yeah.
Steve himself is an ex-co-host.
That's true. That's right. That's right. Okay, here we go.
She covered Jelly Juice on Pathios, which is kind of how she made it the transition, or that's what brought her into YouTube, was talking about that. And then she kind of learned to stream and did a show called The Smoking Nun on Non Sequitur. So
why are you even see, this is what Cheshire doesn't get. This is the unnecessary banter that makes their show fucking suck. That's not what he asked you.
Oh, no, Uni, it's very necessary. It's necessary to distract from the fact that that dummy is not saying a fucking word because he knows that he can't. This is all a tactic on Tresh's part. She's going to
You're right.
give way too much information so that people forget where the question was directed and what the question actually was at the beginning.
Oh my God, Kyle, you fucking called it, bro. Exactly. I've made that criticism 100 times about these guys. It's what happened when I criticized him that night very lightly. I tiptoed around his ego, knowing it could fracture and fall into pieces at any time. And Golden Unicorn, and he never expected me to jump in his stream. And when I got there, that's exactly what Golden Unicorn was doing. It's what Red's rhetoric does for him. This is why he needs them there, and it's why when I challenged Red to a debate, he needed Sean Hufford to be there if he was going to debate me. It wasn't okay for me to debate Reds and then Sean. It's got to be both of them at the same time, because if I get Sean on something, Reds is going to start running his fucking mouth and cause an argument or act out. And if it's the opposite way, then Sean's going to play damage control. It's a specific tactic for a very specific type of trolling. It's called sea lioning. That's what it's called. This is, sea lioning.
She's literally being the ventriloquist for Steve McRae. So at least she's appropriate in being a dummy.
Yeah, we didn't see it, but he just shoved his hand right up her ass, and now he's just doing this, and like his mouth is moving really slightly because he's speaking for her. But here we go.
It was part of the Non Sequitur.
Hey guys,
package, I guess.
Who's up my ass?
Then she moved on to her own show when Kyle tanked Non Sequitur.
Yeah, Kyle tanked Non-Sec. Do you see the specific narrative going on? Oh, it couldn't be that you lied with specific things like promising everybody you had a contract with Kyle, knowing that it would cause them to support you like you did with me. Though never having one, obviously, if you had a contract, you'd be winning this court case. You would eventually win it, though. But anyway.
Wait, so Kyle was the one that made people feel uncomfortable and not want to go on non.
I know, right? Yeah, who really... Now, listen, from a YouTube perspective, I can prove systematically that Steve tanked Nonsec. You go look at the most popular uploads from Nonsec, they all include R and Raw. There might be one random pop-in here and there. Whoever chased R and Raw away from Nonsec ruined the thing that provably took Nonsec from 1,000 subs until it stopped gaining. It was R and Raw brought that thing. Go ahead.
And Chesh, you'll never, ever be relevant to the point where you could tank anything. So enjoy your ride at mediocrity, you unentertaining bitch.
Honestly, they talk so much shit about you. They put all their problems on you. Nothing's ever their fault. It's always my fault because I criticize them like I am now. Your fault because you defend yourself or because of what you've done in the past. Like, nothing's their fault. Honestly, you can't sexually harass women at work because Katie Joy, any of the women that he sexually harassed on Nonsec could have sued you, Kyle. They wouldn't have sued Steve because you know what argument Steve would have made? He would have stood in front of a judge and said, Judge, I can't be sued. Do you see my name on that fucking tax paper? Do you see my name on any of these documents? Did I get paid from Nonsec? Hell no. They got to sue Kyle Curtis. They can't sue my ass. You could have gotten fucked because of sexual harassment. No joke, dude. Like, it's serious shit, you know?
Well, only one of us is going to get fucked, and it's not going to be this guy.
He really wishes he could, but... Okay,
she started covering teen mom drama, accused Steve of medical fraud and sexual harassment.
Well, he did admit to medical fraud, Cheshire. He admitted it with his own fucking mouth. I have the clip. In fact, I think I should fucking play it. It only takes a second. I gotta play it, Kyle. I'm sorry, dude. Because if I play it, then maybe if Ben Pie's watching, like, oh, fuck, Steve's lying to us. Let's see if Kyle and Uni can actually prove it. I want him to actually see it. I got it right here. I can pull it up in 2 seconds. Look, it's already pulled up there. Bam, I got it. I already got it. Here we go. Very quickly. You guys aren't going to hear this, but you've seen this a million times, and you can look at the screen there. Hold on. Here we go. 144, 145. Here we go. Ready? Really quickly. This is for Ben Pie, just in case, or Billy the Fridge, just in case they click in here. Go ahead, Kyle, before I start.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Your mic kicked on. Okay, here we go.
More for the show if he got paid in all caps. He has to do other channels to make the fucking money. I was a patron to support Kyle and Steve in all caps. So
Steve, did Kyle give you the opportunity to have money, but you weren't able to take it because you were on Social Security or veterans pension, and it would have affected that? And Kyle didn't, because you're making it seem as though Kyle withheld money from you.
No, let me make this very clear. I asked, Kyle said he would talk to me how it could be distributed. I asked him, okay, that's fine. Let's talk about how you're going to get it to me. He has never once told me how he's going to get it to me. He's never offered to have a discussion of how he's going to get it to me.
Kyle went to talk to you about how he was going to give you money, but he's never once talked to you about how he was going to get you money. What?
I said, Kyle, that's fine. Let's figure out how you're going to get it to me. I thought he was going to bring it to me in October when we had.
How do you say, Kyle, that's fine? We're going to talk about how you're going to get it to me after you just said he'd never talked to you about how he's going to get it to you. But
this meeting in October, he can bring cash to me. Okay,
but imagine being a business partner and never looking at the books.
True. He just said here that he wanted you to bring cash to him. And where was it, Steve?
He has never asked me about how he says, I've told him, he said, how do you want it? I said, well, let's discuss it. I said, fine. Well,
oh, did you just get caught in a lie that completely exposes you for trying to set Kyle up to his entire community? What happens after you set Kyle up to the entire community, Steve? Oh, that's right. They're all going to revolt against Non Sequitur, leave the show, and maybe even support you instead with all the bullshit lies. It's so good that Shannon caught you on this, but then what did Reds do? Oh, that's right. He pulled this clip down so that nobody could fucking see it, and it didn't surface until like 8 months later. If I would have saw this motherfucking clip on the same day I saw the death of Non Sequitur, I would have never supported you. But here it comes. Did Katie Joy Paulson go around telling people that you committed Medi-Cal fraud, or was she just repeating your words? Here's the clip, and then we'll talk about it.
I'll have a discussion on it. That discussion never happened.
And by the way, in order for that discussion to happen, I can actually vouch for Steve.
I think that's a discussion.
Is everybody's chill? Is everyone please?
You just heard it. He just said it. He said, I wanted money in cash because no, Kyle didn't take my money. I did tell him to hold it for Medi-Cal reasons. It's what he says here. You just heard it. Go back and watch it again. I'm not going to play it again. So Kyle, I don't know. What if Katie Joy heard him say that the many times that it was said behind the scenes before Shannon Q confronted him? Or what if she saw that clip where Shannon Q confronted him? Wouldn't you think that that would make her going around telling people that Steve committed some type of Medi-Cal fraud excusable? Wouldn't that be the accurate way to describe what we just saw? In my opinion, it is.
Well, it would seem to me that her accusation was based in evidence and reality, based on the circumstances and the things that were out there. I mean, he obviously had been offered this money. He didn't take it. I had released the conversation that we had where he says Medi-Cal. She saw that. She heard his own words say the same thing. The problem is Steve didn't like the fact that there was this woman going around and saying these things that, even though they were true, didn't put him in a good light, and he couldn't have that. And it especially made it worse that she was a woman. I mean, that really grinded his gears. And so she didn't do anything. She did nothing wrong in that accusation. There's nothing like asking a question, a legitimate question that you have based in reality is the right thing to do.
What did Shannon Q start with when I played that? Steve, did you tell Kyle to hold your money because if you would have gotten paid, it would have affected your Medi-Cal? He said, yes, I did tell Kyle that. That clip is everywhere. That means, Cheshire, that Katie didn't accuse him of fucking anything. She repeated his own stagnant, nasty words. You guys are still pushing this tired narrative, and you're not going to get away with it. Somebody will eventually send this clip, not of this show, but of what we just played, to the Drunken Peasants with a fucking email that says, hey, Drunken Peasants, I heard Cheshire say that Katie Joy Paulson did this. Here's evidence that she only repeated what Steve McRae said. This is going to happen on every show you go on where you try to frame Katie. It's going to happen on every show you go on where you try to set Kyle up as this bad guy, when in reality, you set this up yourself, Steve. You set this up yourself, but it's not even over. Go ahead.
It started with Katie and I, and his demise is going to be done by Katie and I. Like, Katie put the first nail in that coffin with that NDA, and then
restraining order. Yeah,
I'm going to close the casket shut with this case, and then he won't be fucking nothing anymore.
So here we go. I went back 5 seconds. I just want you to have that context. We've played, and guess who was sitting there? Guys, this is the fucking icing on the shit cake. Let me just pull that up one more fucking time, because I just want to make sure you saw. I don't think I showed you. I think I just played it, but hold on a minute. Hold on. Now, oh fuck, god damn it, I clicked the wrong thing. Here. Important hangout. Sorry about this. Here's the fucked up thing, Cheshire. Here's the fucked up thing, Cheshire. You heard Steve say this. You heard Steve say that Kyle did not withhold Steve's money, that Steve told him to hold it so it wouldn't affect his Medi-Cal. You heard this, Cheshire. You were, wait, you want me to go to the actual timestamp? Because Cheshire might have left. Uni might be lying about Cheshire. So you want to actually have me prove that Cheshire was there when this was said. Well, here you go.
I think that's a discussion that's...
Can't please everybody, right? It's very clear. I'm going to get it to me.
There's Cheshire listening to Shannon Q say, Steve, did you tell Kyle to hold your money so it wouldn't affect your Medi-Cal? And Steve says, yes, I told him that. I did commit Medi-Cal fraud. That's what that means. If you have somebody hold your fucking paychecks so you can keep going to the doctor and getting treatments under your fucking insurance, whereas if you would take those paychecks, you would not be able to go to the doctor to get that insurance to pay for that shit. That's called fraud. It's called Medi-Cal fraud by definition. That's Cheshire right there hearing Steve say what I played for you. This is Cheshire right here saying this. Listen closely.
Mom drama. Accused Steve of medical fraud.
Accused Steve of medical fraud. Accused him. Katie's the bad guy, right? Let's hear it, because I bet she's going to say it.
And sexual harassment when he was talking about somebody else, Mercedes Carrera.
Whoa. Hold the front door. Go ahead, Kyle.
You have to forgive Chesh. She's what we call an idiot and doesn't know what she speaks of.
My guy, dude, she just fucking said that. Hold on. Hold the front door. Wait. That's what happened on Twitter. Remember, Mercedes Carrera and Steve had an interaction on Twitter, right? And then Katie accused him of stuff on, right? Here's more evidence that they know the accusation from Katie Joy. This happened yesterday. They know that Katie Joy accused Steve of sexual harassment in a fucking voice call, pre-show or post-show. And instead of telling the Drunken Peasants that that's the accusation, they just said that Katie Joy accused him of harassment with Mercedes Carrera, which is the Twitter conversation. Remember when I made a video and I said that Steve was going around lying to me and other creators, telling us that Katie Joy's accusation was in a Twitter conversation? Remember that video I did? Okay, I'm just making sure you understand. They called me a liar. They said that I was all these horrible fucking things. But then they're literally saying what I told you they told me now. This is what they told me to make me say that Katie Joy was fucking not, cool to accuse Steve. They said, well, because it was in this Twitter conversation with Mercedes Carrera, Uni, you can read it. Is there any sexual harassment here? And I said, well, no, I don't see any. That's why I made the video calling out Katie for accusing him unjustly of sexual harassment. They lied to me. They presented a false Twitter conversation. Let's hear it.
Harassment when he was talking about somebody else, Mercedes Carrera on Twitter, and then changed it to...
Katie, get the restraining order back. He's not stopping her. She is inciting more harassment against you. She is going out trying to get these trolls to believe their provably untrue narrative, because I have videos that prove Katie's narrative, her accusation is proven with actual video. And go ahead.
I have to say, the one thing that Chesh got right was her name that she uses on YouTube. because only in Wonderland would half of the shit that she says make sense. And you have in Alice in Wonderland, we'll say
Cheshire Cat.
Alice is Sweet Heathen. The Mad Hatter is Steve. The Rabbit is Reds. And in this story, I get to be the Queen of Hearts, and off with their heads.
That's right. That's right. It's fucked up, dude. She made an actual accusation towards him. The least that they could do is accurately state her accusation and then him claim that it's not true, right? Why do you go around lying about an accusation of sexual harassment? Why do you directly misrepresent it when it's recorded and you can actually hear it for you? I have so many clips of Steve admitting the real accusation of Katie Joy Paulson. Why are they pushing this narrative yesterday? It's debunked. They've admitted the opposite. Let's hear more.
It was in a pre-show, then changed it to it was a private call with Steve. Steve was like, what the hell is wrong with you? And she said, DM me in private.
See, here we go again. This is their narrative. This is what they do. You're watching them create this bullshit narrative in front of a channel with 110,000 subscribers. She just listed the false narrative, the narrative that Steve has used to defend himself, and look at his face. He's thinking, wow, you know, Katie's
lowered expectations.
Yeah, Katie's accusation was direct. Katie's accusation was, there's videos that prove Katie's accusation was the same the entire time. They just said she changed her accusation over and over and over. That's the narrative. They go out and misrepresent Katie's allegation so that then they can create a false timeline now to exonerate Steve. Go ahead.
I mean, let's be completely real here. Are we surprised at this point? Like,
no.
Are we shocked that they resort to these kind of tactics and try to change the narrative? You know, it's the problem that they have is when it comes to lying, you have to have a perfect memory, which no one does, and they can't keep track of the narrative that they put out each day, and it contradicts the one they put out the day before, and eventually those lies, like a boa constrictor, just wrap around you and suffocate. They're destroying themselves. Yeah. More so than anyone else is trying to do, and that's the shocking thing about this is they're literally imploding, and it's the fault of no one but their own.
Yes, the reason of what you just said is because when you tell the truth, you are looking back into your memory. It's there. It is checkable. It is rememberable. It is something you can archive and pull from. So you don't have to invent it and memorize it. It happened and you memorized it and you recall it. When you invent lies, you have to create them. You have to change something. And then you have the original thing, the lie you told. You got to memorize the lie you told. And every time you retell the lie, if you change a little piece of it, you've got to memorize it. You got to replace it. You got to recall that one. And sometimes you're going to recall the original lie. Sometimes you're going to recall the third or fourth iteration of the lie. And it's how these guys got busted over a period of time lying about Katie and Kyle. And here at the end of a year, their lies and their bullshit has changed so much with so many different video clips that archived perfectly their lie that now we can prove it, thank God, and exonerate Katie Joy's name and exonerate Kyle Curtis's name. The issue, though, why not just fucking say something like, yeah, Katie has 120,000 subs, and then move the conversation forward? Why tell this tired story that is provably not true? I mean,
saving face. I mean, you have to look at this. All Steve has, and in all seriousness, all jokes aside, probably the saddest thing in this entire scenario is the fact that this is all Steve McRae has. His entire life, his entire existence, his self-esteem, and the validity that he needs, all is tied into a YouTube channel and a subscriber count. He doesn't have a life outside of YouTube. All he does is from, the time he's up, the time he's down, he's writing blogs, he's going after this person, he's trying to do this. It all exists on YouTube. This is it for him. And so he is extremely invested in doing anything that he can to maintain that control over his image online, because without that, he doesn't have anything. There is no
it's sad.
There is no other way to go. And I hate Steve McRae with a passion, and you know, if he was on life support, I would unplug him to charge my phone. But I still can recognize the fact that it is a very sad thing and a very dangerous thing when that's all that you have and you do anything to keep it.
If he was on life support, I would unplug him to charge my phone. It's so good, bro. I love it. I love those
I can't be without my phone now.
Kyle basically did the equivalence of like you co-owned a car with him and he stole it from you and drove it in demolition derbies.
Yeah, Ben Pie. That's what he did, Ben Pie.
Do you want to talk about the direction that channels take when fellow hosts leave? I don't think you do.
Oh, fucking A, brah. Oh, yeah. Dude, you got to come on my show fucking every week, dude. Oh, my God, Kyle. We just light this shit up, bro. We could have 1,000 people watching. We go to UNIRock 2 and blow this up. Anyway. No, you're good, bro. You fucking come back with the quick hits, dude. These clips are fucking clippable. People need to see this shit. Ben Pie, bro, this is not true. This dude is lying to you. There's another side to the story. You guys know this. You've been through this a million fucking times. Do you really want to have to correct yourself? Or do you really want to just not correct yourself and have people say, why do I go watch DP and just watch people lie to me constantly? Like, come on, man. Remember, I was on your show. Have me and Kyle come in now. You just had Steve and Cheshire. Got me? You just had these two on. They presented you the false narrative. How about you hear the fucking goddamn truth? How about you hear a provable thing?
Very good, Uni. I will actually take them up on that. Let's see if they're interested in hearing the other side.
Well,
and putting it out there. I will absolutely, Uni and myself will come on and give you the other side if you're interested in hearing it.
Oh, dude, they need people to come on, and I'm not saying that to be mean or anything. They do lots of shows. Navy, I hate asking you, but you are kind of like my liaison there with things like that. And you mind trying to maybe email Drunken DP tomorrow and presenting that Kyle Curtis would like to come on and give his side that will rebut Steve McRae's side. And Kyle will bring hard evidence against everything Steve McRae's ever said about non sequitur. If you'd like to help us out with that, that'd be tight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I would be more than happy to go on there and discuss this if they're interested in the entire story and not just one side of it.
I said this in the beginning of the stream. I don't think Billy the Fridge or Ben Pie have some fucking like desire to slander you. I think they're just trusting Steve. And I also think that if that's true, then why would they care to have you on and hear what really happened? I mean, shit, dude, that'd be a fire-ass stream. The title here is Non Sequitur Show Update with Steve McRae and Chesh. Okay, fine. You just got the update from Steve McRae and Chesh, but there are a group of people that I'll bring the Drunken Peasants so many clips of this motherfucker lying that their audience will be rolling on the fucking floor hearing one fucking statement and then a lie right next to it. The exact opposite statement made to paid supporters. How about this statement and this statement right next to each other to say the opposite thing? I mean, so this audience be loving it.
So let's say, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say they don't have a vested interest one way or the other in the way that this is going. Maybe Steve is just pestering them to get on there and sort of tell his side. I would be thrilled to see the reaction of Ben and Billy the Fridge when they see other evidence than what they've been shown now, and if they truly don't have a vested interest in, or they're not biased, gauging their reaction as people who may not be following things as closely as everyone that we sort of talk to.
Yeah.
But I will be more than happy to do that anytime.
Oh, dude, it'd be a fucking fire stream. You know what we can open with? We can open with Steve McRae and his penis dance. Penis, 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 penis. I want to sexually harass Katie Joy Paulson right now. Penis, penis, penis. That clip is so fucking funny, dude. Two old men sitting there saying the word penis repeatedly over and over again, angrily, triggered, charged. Like, it's a funny clip. In fact, I want to see that clip right now. Do you have a copy of that clip? Put it in the current live stream room, and we'll laugh at it right now, but let's hear more until then.
Until it was just totally broken down.
Yeah.
Is Steve saying yes to Ben Pye's horribly fucking based reaction to what he just heard summed up in a fucking response at the car driving away?
Funny, because we had a popular show. We were competing with you guys.
I believe that Kyle was competing with DP. I believe that. You guys had a popular show, but
I wasn't. The thing is, though, like that's his problem. Like, he always saw it as, who can we outdo? Like, if you watch if you go back and watch our videos, I never once told people to subscribe. I never once told people anything about making sure that they become part of our Patreon. I never pushed any of that stuff. We started the show. We got into the discussion. That was the fun for me. I didn't try to. I was friends with most of everybody in the YouTube sphere, even the people that hated me when we were having a discussion outside of it, like Russian vids or whatever. Me and him had a cordial relationship. Like, I didn't view these people as competition. We were all in it together, and we all sort of pushed one another to make ourselves grow. Steve is always trying to find that we're in competition. We have to outbeat you. You don't have to do that on YouTube, because the audience can go around and watch everyone. That's the point of it. You're not competing for a time slot.
Definitely. And I think that is a good point. And like myself, I try to encourage people to watch everybody. I try to shout people out. I tell people to subscribe, to support people. I honestly don't ever get that from him. Even when he has people on his show, they rarely get a shout out. They rarely get anything. They really get anything good said. They get a lot of boilerplate shit said about him. But either way, I'm interested in seeing what else fucking Steve says here, because you know what just happened? Basically, Cheshire told a fucking lie. So Ben Pye comes in with the general, like, good question, like an actual unbiased person would ask. Whatever happened with KJP restraining ordering your sicko ass? Cheshire plays the damage control. She comes in and just screams in screaming, hey, here's a fucking lot of stupid shit because I don't know what to say. Then, after Steve fucking, after Ben Pye comes in and says something about a car fucking thing, now Steve feels like his ego's been patted, and now he's going to get confident, and that's what you're going to hear right now. Wait, hold on, someone tagged me. Elliot, I have missed Kyle on YouTube. Steve was saying on Twitter that we will get bored of Kyle. Nope, we are bored of Steve, for fuck's sake. I will never be bored of Kyle Curtis coming on this show. So Kyle can come on any fucking time.
I get bored of Kyle, so let's be real here.
Well, still, I get bored of myself, but no, we're glad to have you, man. It's good. It's nice. This is the kind of shit that. Oh, by the way, my stream, this stream with Kyle, pull some clips from it, guys. Throw those clips out on Twitter. Get them around. Get them out there. In fact, I'm gonna make a fucking butt ton of clips tomorrow and put them on Twitter. Reshare them, download them, and upload them to your Twitter and get some likes and shit.
I mean, not maybe a direct competition, but we had numbers. I brought in a lot of great guests.
How do you know what numbers you had? You never once looked at the books or the analytics, my dude. Fucking A.
Yes, matter of fact, I knew the connections. He brought the artistic talent to it, but when he was being told that, hey, he's the entire show, you can get rid of Steve, he bought into it. And
this is
No one told me that, you moron. That was
and there's evidence that no one told you that. There's evidence.
That was a decision that I made, because you were starting to be bad for the show, and that you have no one to blame but yourself. I gave you every opportunity to get your shit right. I tried to bring you down days so that you would wake up to the fact. I had conversations with you. I have the responses back and forth between us. I gave you every opportunity to change your behavior. The person that is responsible for you being removed from Non Sequitur is you, Steve, no one else. You don't get to push the blame on anyone else. We tried our best to work around your stupidity, which was the biggest mistake I ever made. I should have kicked your ass to the curb.
You should have.
The first time that you started bringing shit to the show. but I was stupid and I gave you a lot more chances than you should have. So it wasn't anybody that told me to kick you off. You kicked yourself off. Steve McRae screwed Steve McRae, period.
By trying to get Steve McRae screwed by married women that would never touch him if they were paid $1 million, like Katie Joy.
And it tumbled from there because when he kind of left YouTube.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this shit.
A little bit. There's a small group of people that kind of like still believed him, and they kind of coaxed him to come back. And now, like I said,
what the fuck are you talking about, ding dong? What are you talking about? Kyle came and talked to me and brought evidence to back up every one of his claims. You have nothing, bro. Nothing. Nothing.
People forget that he stole $60,000. That is not just me just spewing that out there.
Yes, it is. Unless you can show me a contract that's you spewing that out there. That's how that shit works in the United States, my dude. People are protected from people coming up and trying to steal their business, my guy. You got anything on that, Kyle? Or Nate?
Yeah, today it's 60,000. Tomorrow it'll be 30,000. The next day it's 45,000. The next day it's 90,000. I mean, that's how I gauge his trigger level, is by the amount that he's saying that I stole from him.
Oh yeah.
That is a fact in evidence by the court that.
No, it's not, bro. You haven't turned in any facts. You gave an affidavit.
He committed fraud. That was by the judge. He admitted when he didn't show up.
The judge has not fucking ruled that yet, my guy. God damn.
That was a true statement, that he committed fraud. That's not slander or anything like that. That is illegal.
That's called slander, my dude. That's called slander. You didn't prove shit, dude. Kyle, he filed an affidavit. You've been looking at these papers. You're in this lawsuit. You've got a lawyer. Speak on this a little bit. Your lawyer, what evidence, what has Steve put to court that has evidence of anything for the judge to rule on? What has he given the court? Just tell people.
The judge did not make a determination on fraud or anything like that. What happened was, because of the improper service, Steve handed over an affidavit that had his claims. He was stating to the court and swear by just using his word and signing his name on a piece of paper what he alleges happened. With the improper service, I didn't respond. So the court had no choice but to affirm his accusations, the things that he was saying, because there was no contest to it. The court made no independent determination on any of the findings. It went nothing like that. They were just saying, okay, no one showed up to contest this, so we assume that this is accurate. The court did not make a determination that I committed fraud in any way, shape, or form. Because and to continue to say so is
slander,
dishonest. Because
listen, my guy, you live in the United States of America. You're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. That's a criminal accusation, is it not? Is fraud and criminal conversion and everything he just said? I'm crazy. I know. I'm dumb as a rock. But isn't that a criminal accusation, Kyle?
It could be slander. That's something that we will explore.
Well, I just mean the things he said that the court determined, like fraudulent conversion, and all these things are criminal things that would have to be determined in a criminal court. A civil court can't convict you of fucking, shit. They can't make you guilty for crimes. That's what a fucking criminal court's for, right? Am I off base?
No, that's right. They can't convert that. That would have to be.
You would need a fair trial for them to prove that you did this. Literally, what he's trying to do, he's trying to game the system and then run around pretending like he took you to and fucking... So now Ben Pye thinks that a court, and what kind of court makes a determination of these criminal charges that he just listed? A criminal court. By the way he just spoke, if you had nothing but what he just said and you believed it, you would think that you've been charged by a criminal court and found guilty of the things he just stated. That's just not the case. You didn't. They didn't do that to you.
Absolutely. Look at the bottom of current live stream. Apparently, he's got some.
Oh, Steve said something here?
Yeah, he tweeted out. It's about GE.
Yup, which is why I think I should remind people, Godless Engineer literally helped Kyle. Oh my God, dude, Kyle, he's just never going to stop until you fucking get him. You have to get this guy for slander, for libel. You got to get him for fucking Medi-Cal fraud. You got to get him for all of it. because until you do, he will never stop. He says this, 14 minutes ago, which is why I think I should remind people that Godless Engineer literally helped Kyle steal my channel by falsely accusing me of fraud that was blatantly untrue and take 60,000 from the fans. He can't just walk away from those facts. Steve, there's some issues right here. Let's see here. My channel by Billy accusing me of fraud, but I just played a clip where you admitted to Medi-Cal fraud, Steve. I mean, do I got to play the clip again and then replace everything I said about Katie and exonerate GE? Because I will if I have to. GE only heard you tell Kyle to not pay him because it would affect your fucking Medi-Cal. So when GE walked out of there, he had your fucking words and he compared your words to the definition of Medi-Cal fraud. And when he flipped that goddamn dictionary open and fucking read the goddamn definition of Medi-Cal fraud, you know what was right there in front of him next to that definition? A picture of Steve fucking McRae. Me and GE have had our issues, but this is fucked. Go ahead, dude.
I tell you what, people in chat, if you are on Twitter, do me a favor and let's go politely remind Steve McRae about the issue and just reply to that tweet with the word Medi-Cal. Nothing else, just the
word
Medi-Cal. Just Medi-Cal.
Now, the problem is
remind him.
Everybody out there on Twitter, though, that's in my chat, there might only be out of 150 people, maybe 10 of them aren't blocked. So anyone that's not blocked, let him know. Medi-Cal. Shannon Q. Maybe type this. You want to type anything? Just this is polite. It's not harassment. Shannon Q. Just type Shannon Q. Medi-Cal.
I don't want to bring any other.
Oh yeah. True. I wasn't thinking. I just wanted to remind him of the clip, where he states with his mouth that, hey guys, I did tell Kyle to hold my money so I could keep getting medical benefits. If you go to your boss right now, Steve, let's say you're working for fucking Walmart. You go there and they try to pay you and you say, oh no, hey, wait, Walmart, hold on, dude. I get medical benefits from Medi-Cal, Walmart. Now look, what I want you to do, Walmart, I want you to take my paycheck and hold it for like 2 years, okay? Now in 2 years, I'll have all my surgeries, I'll get my bum knee replaced, I'll get my crack fucking pills, get my brain pills, I'll get my fucking, my fecal impaction remedy taken care of, because he did state that was an actual medical issue of his. And then after the 2 years, when I got all this done, you pay me that money, because what I can do then is cause the taxpayers to pay for all my fucking medical issues, right? Taxpayers will pay all that shit, and then I get to take all my cash, because if you give me that money, Walmart, I'm going to have to take that cash you're giving me and either buy some type of medical fucking coverage or pay the doctors to fix me. Steve, it's called medical fraud. If GE wants to call it medical fraud, he can. If Katie wants to call it medical fraud, she can. You're lying here, my dude. I just played the clip.
You can also, if you are feeling frisky, respond to that tweet by putting the hashtag fecal impaction.
Or maybe you could put important. You could even put important hangout. Sorry about this. - 1 hour and 46 minutes. Because that's like basically like fucking the timestamp of the video where he says that he fucking committed Medi-Cal fraud. I almost want to play it again. Kyle, please stop me from playing it again, because I'm going to play it again if he keeps fucking doing this, dude. Too late. I'm playing it again. And this time I'm going to make it to where fucking Navy and Kyle can hear it, because I want them to actually fucking break this down, because I've never had Kyle break this clip down, and these are some of the main reasons why I wanted Kyle to come stream with me. I've broken this down.
Steve.
Here we go. So all I got to do here, if I want you guys to help me break this clip down, is press this little... Oh, sorry, you're going to have to double-click me again in 2 seconds. I'm sorry. Hold up. And here we go. And I'm live. If you double-click me, then I can hit play on this and you'll hear it. And that's all I care about, is that you guys hear it. All right, let me know you can hear it.
And Steven, all caps.
Audio test. Yep. You should have heard Red's rhetoric say soy. I need soy in all caps. But here we go. Here's an. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, hold on. He said soy, right? Oh, he didn't. He said Steven, all caps. Sorry.
So,
Steve, did Kyle give you the opportunity to have money, but you weren't able to take it because you were on Social Security or veterans pension, and it would have affected that? And Kyle didn't. Because you're making it seem as though Kyle withheld money from you.
No, let me make this very clear.
Pausing it. Now, Kyle, Navy, I'd like you to both weigh in. If any human being says to someone to hold my 2 years worth of salary so that I can keep getting taxpayers to pay my fucking surgery and medical and pills, is that correct? Or would that be some type of unethical, maybe even type of Medi-Cal fraud issue? What do you think about what you heard here?
I think he's a snake, and Shannon caught him out for it.
Well, and there's a reason why he wanted cash. And
yeah,
I mean, growing up all the time doing construction work and stuff like that, there were people that always got paid in cash, and there was a reason for that.
And I just can't believe that he tweeted this out 14 minutes ago. Not only on DP yesterday does he blame Katie for stating that, not accusing him of anything, for repeating his own admission. Then, today, 14 minutes ago from right now, probably because he's watching this stream and he wants to try to give us a middle finger and fuck with GE, fuck with Katie, fuck with Shannon, whoever he can, he decided to target GE here. Look at that name. Atheist pastor, Mr. Malefica, and 2 others. Sitting there just shit-talking. You know the worst part? This dude provably has Godless Engineer blocked because he knows he's lying about Godless Engineer, and if he wasn't blocked, Godless Engineer would come in and say, important hangout. Sorry about this. Timestamp right here.
I asked, Kyle said he would talk to me how it could be distributed. I asked him, okay, that's fine. Let's talk about how you're going to get it to me. He has never once told me how he's going to get it to me. He's never offered to have a discussion of how he's going to get it to me. I said, Kyle, that's fine. Let's figure out how you're going to get it to me. I thought he was going to bring it to me in October when we have this meeting in October. He can bring cash to me.
Okay, first of all, you man-child. Why would I have to go to you after that first initial thing of how do you want, do you want your money or not? Am I supposed to, like your parent, tap on your shoulder every couple of days and say, would you like your money now, sir? How about now, sir? How about you grow up and take care of your own business and take charge of it? And how about not thinking that I'm going to bring money in a duffel bag across the United States, the entire length of the country, where I'd have to go through the TSA? Like, you're not even thinking, you stupid old man. Like, the way that you are using what small pieces of brain that you have left are appalling and atrocious. And you should, it's shameful that we have to share the same oxygen with you. That's how pathetic and dumb you are.
No, dude, because listen, people like M. Stone of the old school flatty debunking community and other people from the old school flatty debunking community, they hate me and Kyle, and they support Steve. You want to know why? You want to know why they don't like us? Because, we are repeating ourselves by doing this. I don't know if it's us repeating ourselves or if 14 minutes ago Steve repeated the accusation to incite his troll group against GE. And last night on the Drunken Peasants, on a channel with 118,000 subscribers, he incited his troll group to go attack Katie Joy Paulson and hoped to incite some of the DP fans to go attack Katie Joy Paulson, tweet at her and call her out because he lied about her with this same lie. But you heard it. We've got enough of the clip. We've got it. I'm sorry, dude. Go ahead.
I just have a quick question for Kyle right fast. Kyle, did you suppose he stole $60,000 from him or the fans? Because it seems to go back and forth all the time on who exactly the money was taken from.
Yeah.
And I think it's hilarious.
I actually stole it from Fort Knox. I broke in when it was everybody, I guess, Navy. The truth is, he doesn't speak for the fans. So Steve McRae, when he says, "Oh, the fans," he needs to sit the fuck down. He doesn't speak for the fans. He speaks for himself, for the person that he's always had the most interest in, and every action that he's done has been for one person and one person alone, and that's for his sad, pathetic self. Nobody else. I would definitely unplug his life support to charge my phone now, 100%.
Well, and listen, here's the thing. He's always going to slander you guys. This is what he has to do every day to remind himself of his lies and to try and grasp onto that little tiny bit of relevancy that he's learned that he can create, because there are people out there that do want something to do every day, and they want to fight someone, and they want to go out and play this game, and they want to fucking be against you because, hey, they don't like your political thoughts, they don't like your thoughts on prison reform, they don't like your sexuality, whatever it may be. They don't like how you stood up to Steve, who claims that he is an anti-SJW and that he's pinned you as the SJW, but you don't go around crowd striking people like Steve does. You don't dox people like Steve does. You don't go around lying on people and trying to create narratives. That is kind of what that Twitter SJW mob does. The only person that fits that descriptor is Steve. So the tactics he uses, this stuff, it may never end, but these clips, you finally stepping up and calling him out, we can finally take this. We can finally clip these. You clip your words. Instead of me saying it, instead of somebody, other YouTuber out there, Ratbat or fucking Road User making a clip, Nate, Menace, what's his name, and then Sinister Porpoise, and then Insidious Vids. Instead of us stepping up and criticizing, now that you're doing it, it's going to be more powerful. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a poem that I'd like to read, and I think that this will go a long way. And a lot of people think that Steve is, with his love interests or whatever, may be a little bit of a beta or a cook. That's going around.
It's accurate.
So I wrote a poem to reflect this for people who may not know, so that it could, be told in a artsy way and get the point across.
Okay.
Would you like to hear it?
I'd love to.
There once was a sailor named Steve who danced on the ice with ease, but a fall on his cutlass has rendered him nutless and practically useless on dates.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Great. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful poem. It's getting late. It's 1:20.
Yeah.
I do have to fucking call it here soon. Let's go ahead and just let's pop the live chat up for just like 2 to 5 minutes, just real quick. We'll just rapid fire through anything anyone wants to say in response to what you've seen. I promise I'll keep it short, let you guys go. I'll end it out. So here we go, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and end my screen share here. And we're not even going to transition into it like I do. We're going right into it. Let me just scroll this and then we're outie. Hi, guy. At least we know why Dead Kennedy in Space has broken eyeglasses now, eh? Oh, damn, bro. That's right. Turtle hooked us up with that story of why that happened. Yeah. Wesley Broer said, I saw, quote, I just followed you, blah, 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 and was thinking, just threw it out there, Navy. Sorry, dude. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Darth Chaz, if you tried to take 10K on a plane, the cops would find any excuse to seize it. Yeah, they would, Kyle. You can't do that. You can't do that. Oh, a couple of us have posted Medi-Cal and 1 hour and 45-minute timestamp. Let's see how long it stays. Can he hide fuck, I'm sorry, guys. I popped out. Can he hide his tweets? Sorry about that. I didn't realize. Can Steve, because I just read a comment. We'll just start right here. A few of the people in the chat went and posted Medi-Cal, and they posted 1 hour and 45 minutes. So that, and they said, we'll see how long our tweets stay there. Can Steve hide tweets on his threads that he puts out?
I don't think you can do that, can you?
I have no clue. I'm not that good with Twitter.
Let me know, chat. Okay, Omarosa Moon has one, and I know that she's in your Discord. I hope to get her in my Discord sometime, too.
She's the best.
I've been having talks with her, and, I confused her once with Ilia Moon, because I didn't know. I thought they were the same thing. I didn't know Omarosa. I couldn't tell Omarosa from Ilia,
Wrong moon.
I know. And I think I blocked her once because of that, and I felt like such a fucking asshole once I realized it. Okay, I'm trying to find Omarosa's comment.
Oh, so apparently, according to Stuart in the chat, you can now. It's a new feature.
Oh.
I bet he's using it. Using it.
You know he is.
If I miss anything you guys say, please retype it. The chat's going fast. I'm trying. Hi, guy. At least we know. Oh, wait. That's why I went too far up. Okay, Omarosa. Sorry about that, everybody. The sorry about this video does not appear to be private instead of unlisted, but Uni has it, I'm sure. I have it downloaded. See, Reds had it public for a little bit, and then people started to message him and call them out for lying and call them out for, what they did to Shannon Q. And when they started to switch their narrative to Kyle did steal money, people would use that clip. So Reds unlisted it. And then I did hear he privated it. I don't know if it's still privated. I know it was at one point, though. You can find any of the clips you saw tonight on UNIRock 2 in my criticism videos, my edited ones directed towards non-sec. How about the one in my Truth of Non-Sec video where it starts off with Reds telling Steve before they talk to Kyle, we really need to get a 50-50. How about that clip? It's excellent. It's an excellent clip. Okay, just 3 more and we're outie. Here we go. We got Boots. Did you see Steve's poll about Kyle going to jail that his own fans said no to? I did. Did you see that, Kyle?
No. What was that about?
So he posted a poll and it said, do you guys think Kyle's going to jail? And like 60-some% said no, and like 30-some% said yes. So I posted a poll and said, is Steve going to jail? And last time I looked at it, it was like 80% said yes, 10% said no, and like 10% said silverfish. So,
well, sounds like he has a Tweedle impaction as well.
Yeah, Boots Mama says, Keon posted Steve's poll about Kyle going to jail. Even his own fans said no. Elliot, is Steve still not allowed to talk about Katie? Why is Katie being talked about on the Drunken Peasants? We went over that earlier. I'll sum it up after Navy and Kyle get out of here because I've kept them too long. So I'll get that last statement. Kyle, Navy, thank you so much for hanging with me. You guys are always welcome here when we're doing these types of streams. I really appreciate you. I hope to have you back very, 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 very soon. So
always a pleasure, sir.
Thank you very much.
Hit me up, Kyle. Remember, anytime you want to come on, anytime there's an update in the community, you want to spend a half an hour, 20 minutes, or an hour, get in here. Go ahead.
Can I say just quickly, I would like to take this opportunity to again say thank you to everyone for their support in all the ways that you have been giving, whether it was to the GoFundMe and the attorney or just making me laugh, the words of encouragement. It means more than you guys know. And, with this, all of this can be a lot to sort of to take in. There are a lot of moving parts and it can certainly get overwhelming. I am definitely human and I have my my good days and my bad days, but you guys, I love you all. You have made it completely tolerable, and I don't know how I would in any way, shape, or form even come close to getting through any of this without each of you. So I love you guys and I appreciate all that you have done and all the support.
Well, man, we love you right back, bro. And we're here, massive community. The whole community raised $5,000 in such record time, and they did it because they want you to have your day in court, whether you win or lose. They want non-sec to be archived like you wanted it, and even to be there for you if you ever want to go back. And hopefully, when this is all said and done, the right thing happens. So we appreciate it, dude.
Well, through all this story, you guys are the heroes. So remember that, that it all hinged on you guys. So pat yourselves on the back, and let's hope that these next couple of weeks aren't as as busy, and it starts to kind of slow down, and we get to the end of this fucking roller coaster.
The end is coming, but I have a feeling that we're going to be going on a downhill roller coaster ride all the way there. All right, see you guys soon. I'm outie. Okay. Before we go, I do want to address M Stone, the original hardcore flatty debunking community. And instead of being a little bit dicky, in response to M Stone trolling me, hey, I don't mind. He can troll me whenever he wants. I didn't block him, did I? Maybe he'll come in tomorrow and troll me. Who knows? Or the next day. I might take tomorrow off. I don't know. Though I want to make an address there. I just want to sum up what we've talked about. I want to talk about why we're doing this so that M Stone gets a little understanding for it. And then we're going to go ahead and get out of here. But I want to thank all of you guys because we get a lot of you guys writing us. Just like Kyle said, you support us and you guys come to the streams and we try our best to put on some kind. We don't do this off the air. what we're doing now. We don't have time to. Kyle's working a full-time job. Navy's in the Navy. And I'm, doing my thing with edited videos full-time. Then I have to spend time with the kids and family. So getting these streams in, we try our best to come here. And this is our time to see these clips. I haven't seen these clips. I don't watch it. I didn't see the Nate video. I didn't see this DP video. I want to watch this whole fucking thing, but we can't keep our mouths shut to even get through these clips. So let's sum this up. Let me say what I want to say, and then let's get out of here. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Boots. Omarosa, appreciate it. I agree, Omarosa. I agree. So look, here's what's up. Here's what's up. To the original Flatty debunking community, I know I'm a bit of a dick, but you guys are too. We're both dicks. We're both dickheads sometimes, right? Especially to each other. So here's what I say. You can call out flat earthers for doing dumb shit. You better be able to call out the people sitting next to you. Because the minute you stop, it's the minute you lose the ability to be able to call out the flat earthers. You just look like hypocrites anytime you do it after that. But it's not permanent. You can change that. You don't even have to call out Steve like we do. We're not asking for people to jump up and go crazy. We're asking for people who Steve may have interacted with in the past. Or like M. Stone, he's interacted with Steve. Or how about any of the original Flatty debunking guys? How about the flat earthers themselves? We're asking for them to just criticize him or agree with him publicly. You know what's fucked up? Do you see anybody jumping up and taking Steve's side in the last year? Have you seen it? Other than his sycophants, no, you don't see it. You want to know why you don't see it? Because they know. All of them know what's going on. Now, M. Stone runs in here earlier. He types, I can't believe both sides of this are doing this. You both look like idiots doing this. Yeah, and you always look like an idiot, M. Stone, so you are the guy to be able to determine that. But here's the issue. I don't give a shit what you think about me, and I never did, my dude. I really don't care. And I don't think Kyle does either. We were going to sit around and talk about what happened without doing this stream or with doing the stream. So we're going to keep doing this. We don't care if you don't like us. We don't care if you're laughing over there in Flatty Land. Because the entire world laughs when a bunch of people think they're better than flat fucking earthers, but can't criticize people that have taken over $170-some thousand from the Flatty debunking community and used it on top of the money that they make on YouTube, taken with lies. Or when they allow Steve McRae to go around. You want to say flatties are bad. I agree. They're bad. They influence people to do things that make them lazy, that don't challenge their ability to understand our universe and have a better understanding of how things work. And they give an easy out and an easy path to laziness intellectually. I agree with you. Though, what Steve McRae's doing in sexually harassing women and then harassing them for a year straight, and then now you take anyone that he's calling out like GE, Kyle, Mr. Atheist, Katie Joy, they stood up and criticized Steve for sexually harassing Katie Joy. And now we know the truth. He brought it up in the DP. I didn't get to talk about it because we just ran out of time. What would that last clip say? Steve said, well, all these people talked Kyle into kicking me off the show. If you want to think that Katie Joy and the other women that went around telling GE, Kyle, and the other men around there that you were sexually harassing them and making inappropriate statements towards them that they weren't comfortable with while they're at work, and they want to talk to each other about the fact that you may need to be kicked off the show because of that, and you want to frame that as if they are trying to talk Kyle into having a big ego and taking over the show, yeah, I could see why you'd want to do that, but that narrative will not work on anyone but Cheshire and your other sycophants. The rest of the world knows the truth. Everybody gives Katie shit, and Katie makes a lot of mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes. Everybody makes a lot of mistakes. People give Katie a lot of shit, though, but she was the one who stood up and really stopped all this. Without Katie Joy standing up and calling out Steve for the sexual harassment, Kyle would have never come back. You want to know why? Because then Steve would have never asked me to cover this. Then I would have never found the fact that he was lying about Katie. Right after I found out that he was lying about Katie, the people that had been debunking Steve for a while sent me all those clips that changed my minds about the non sequitur case. I showed them to you and it changed your mind, and then the rest of the world saw them and it changed their mind. Katie Joy, provably, none of this would have happened without Katie. None of it. So, as much shit as they give Katie, while they are all members of Steve McRae's secret Facebook group against her, doesn't it make sense that that whole sexual harassment claim is at the core of what they say Katie needs to apologize for? The number one thing that group and all of his friends ask for is that Katie needs to apologize for accusing Steve of sexual harassment. Because if they get that out of Katie, then he will forever be able to discredit her claim. The claim is real. She didn't even claim anything. She just said that he made her uncomfortable while she was at work, that it is considered sexual harassment by definition, and that, you know, she wasn't going to just apologize for that because it's true. So my point to Steve is, I know he doesn't like people talking about this. He doesn't like people debunking him. Do some content, Steve, until your court cases are over. Okay? Do some content. Go on the Drunken Peasants, but don't slander Kyle. Talk about Kyle if you want. Just don't slander him. And then if you want to talk about Katie on Drunken... Oh, that's right. You can't because you got an NDA. I don't even have to bring that up. But Katie, him on that show, right? With Cheshire running his mouth and him being there, not leaving, not telling them, hey, we can't do this. That should be enough for you to put that restraining order back into place because you know you can go file it at any time, and so does he. What is the thing that prevents Steve McRae from talking about Katie right here? What is it? Do you know? Why didn't he talk about Katie? Because he didn't. She did. And then he changed it. Why? Why? You heard the clip. Because she'll file the RO. That's it. She'll refile the RO. This is enough for it to get refiled. 110,000 subscribers. Instead of good, but you know, all he got to do is before they start, tell Ben Pie, I can't talk about Katie Joy Paulson. And he can't even do that. You know why he can't do that? Because then Ben Pie and others are going to talk about it behind the scenes, and it's going to get out to the other YouTubers, and people are going to find out that Steve McRae told us he can't talk about Katie Joy. And then people are going to say, yeah, he told Drunken Peasants that because he has an NDA with her. And he's been telling people that he doesn't have an NDA with Katie, and he doesn't want proof of the NDA around. So that's why he didn't tell Ben Pie and Billy that. And if he would have told Ben Pie and Billy that, they would have figured it out in their head. Whoa. What do you mean you have an NDA? Well, she charged me with a restraining order and we transmitted it to an NDA. They would have said, what do you fucking mean you got a restraining order against you from Katie Joy Paulson? Why didn't they bring up the fucking restraining order, guys? It's the biggest part of the goddamn story. Right? You want to talk about historical revisionism? To the Flatty debunking community, look at the date on this, Matt M. Stone. Any of you guys sitting in that Discord server pretending like you're the OGs of intellectual discussion around Flat Earth. By the way, there is no intellectual discussion of Flat Earth or debunking of it, okay? There's only people that make fun of it and then people that take it too seriously. Quit sniffing your own fucking ass. Though, this is August 15th of 2020. That was 2 days ago. No, that was yesterday because it's after midnight. Yesterday. What was the date of that tweet where he's attacking GE again with lies? Because GE is literally repeating Steve's claim, repeating Steve saying that 14 minutes before I showed it. My point, this isn't us repeating some fucking stale topic. This is Kyle Curtis and Katie Joy and Godless Engineer being attacked mercilessly with lies, slander, and just all these other fucking fucked up things because Steve is trying to cover up for the sexual harassment of Katie Joy Paulson. Provably. Oh, you can't prove that, UNIRock. Well, that's the problem, Instone. It's the problem, Flat Earth debunking, whatever the fuck conversation, Discord server. If you actually watched the videos on UNIRock 2 about this, you would see video clips of Steve McRae's own words proving it. I've got video clips of him admitting he knew the accusation that Katie made before they made up that Twitter narrative, and it's on my channel. And I only could prove it because they came to me and lied to me about it. So if you guys aren't, if you're not just trolling him, Stone, and I think you are, but I'll say if you're not, because people get mad at me if I determine somebody's trolling. So I'll say, I 99% know you're trolling in Stone, but if you really are, if you really do care about that community, you try to run around and act like you're better than everybody because you're part of, wouldn't you call this shit out if it's true? You're going to say, yeah, I would. Okay, go watch my shit on this and hear the clips of him and his admissions and what they did, and then, you know, make up your mind after you see it. Or you can still go around and troll me tomorrow. Don't worry, Imstone. You can still troll me tomorrow if you don't want to do it, all right? Do me a solid, though. When you're sitting around in that Discord server running your mouth for hours and hours and hours about the same topics every day, ironic, right? When you're doing that in the next week, why don't you let them know what really happened? Give them some links. Show them what happened. Send them over to the videos on UNIRock that prove this. Because you can say that Flat Earth is a topic worth talking about for 7 straight fucking years every day. You could say that. Gotcha, M. Stone and the rest of your cohorts. Okay. But if that's true, if a topic is more serious than Flat Earth and it's actively being used to do these things now, that would mean, logically speaking, this topic is much more important than the Flat Earth. It has to do with some very hardcore serious topics, slander, libel, and constant attempts at destruction of a business. And what if Jim Panda had somebody trying to steal his channel? What if one of the OG Flatty debunkers had somebody trying to steal their channels? You guys would talk about it for years. You guys have talked about the shit Nathan Oakley did 5 years ago, or a few years ago where he slapped his kid. You've talked about that over and over again for years. How do I know that? Because you came and talked to me about it on my fucking show, my guys. You may be right. Uni may be the enemy. Busy, you might be the enemy. We may be the enemy, Busy. We might be. Or we might just care about these communities on YouTube more than even you guys do. That was to the Flatty debunking community. To my audience, I love you. You're the best audience that fucking exists. That's provable due to this live chat, your support, and what you guys do. You don't harass people. You don't do fucked up things. You represent logic. You listen to the facts and evidence. And if you disagree with me, you tell me. And that's why I love you for it. I'll see you soon. I'll be back. Even if I take the day off tomorrow, I'll be back the next day. I don't know if I can resist you. I might be here tomorrow. Either way, I'll be back. UNIRock out. Thanks. Oh, bye. Oh, fuck. I almost forgot. Robert Beatty. Make sure you go follow his Twitter. Make sure you go check out his Facebook group. Make sure you check out Kyle Curtis on Twitter. Give Navy a follow. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff with me. PayPal if you want to support me. If not, who cares? Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Now I'm out.